It's on my side. Oh, let me see.
Oh my God.
Have you got me?
Okay, I would like to say that we did all this in 12 minutes. It felt like a lifetime, but that was actually just 12 minutes, and I'm so proud of that. Oh my God. Hey.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello, everyone.
Hey everybody.
It's a
Now apparently we know what we're doing. Or
it's a
whatever. It
pleasure to be
worked.
here.
It worked. Y'all, so just in case you don't know, but you probably do, this is Richard. He is known as Richard the Wildling, and we'll get into why. And Richard is actually in Ireland, and he was kind enough to stay up to do this, which I'm incredibly excited about. And you can guess from the picture here that I didn't even know we could do that he's got some incredible stories. So,
I do.
Richard, I was going to ask, I would say a little bit about yourself, but the first
Sure.
question I was going to ask you is like, how did this begin? Like, what led to all of this, which is amazing.
Okay, well, I'll just rattle off. Well, hello everyone. My name is Richard. I live just outside Belfast here in Northern Ireland. Home, of course, to Westeros. It is the still the spiritual home of all things, A Song of Ice and Fire, as far as we're concerned, anyway.
Yes.
We are slightly biased, of course, but
No, you're just
a
wrong.
very a, a very long story, as short as I can. For most of my life, I have worked in music, and most of that time would have been performance, stage, studio tours, that sort of stuff. But when I was not doing that, I would have taken on other temporary work just to fill in the gaps in between sort of self-employed stuff,
Mhm.
like stage management, promotion, production, anything like that. And one year I was a bit short of work, so I thought, well, I look a bit strange. I was in Game of Thrones because I look like this. I don't look like this to be part of Game of Thrones. That's the chicken and egg situation. So I've always looked like
I
it.
love that.
So
You're like, I
I
was
thought,
already a
okay.
wildling, so they liked me.
So I thought to myself, well, obviously there's something maybe in TV I could do. I look a bit strange. So I signed up for the Extras agency in Belfast, genuinely only with the thought of getting a TV commercial, guy drinking coffee in tea shop in background, just a couple of days here and there,
Right.
And I actually got nothing from them. They didn't give me anything for months. And then, totally out of the blue, one day, this text message popped up on the phone and it said, "Hi, Richard, this is Tanya from Game of Thrones. Are you available to be a wildling for the next 3 months?" And I looked at the wall planner and went, "Yes, I am very ready." I was totally broke that winter. So that's how I got into Hardhome. That's how I got into season five. That's how I got into the extras side of it. And it was as simple as that. There was no interview, there was no audition. They just looked at her photograph and went, "Yeah, you're a wildling. You're a Stark. You're a Baratheon." It's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as that.
Oh, that's
So I did
cool.
Hardhome for the money. But I'll be honest, I had so much fun and met so many absolutely fantastic people that I had to come back and do it again. So I come back for season six and did another 3 months for Battle of the Bastards in season six. At the end of season six, or actually while filming season six, I met a fella called Andy McClay. Andy was a Stark trooper, and he
Mhm.
was already doing the tour guiding thing that I'm now doing. And he invited me to come and give it a go. And so for the last 10 years, I've been a Game of Thrones tour guide in Northern Ireland. I think to date I've led somewhere around 1,000 tours. Um, so I've done quite a
Wow.
bit of it.
I didn't know it'd been 10 years. Oh my
10
God.
years, yeah. 2016. The company was actually started in 2014. Game of Thrones tour started.
Uh-huh.
And I come in 2 years later. So 10, yeah, 10 years I've been doing this now. It's a crazy long time.
Well, I tend to forget that it's been so long since the show ended.
Yeah,
So,
it's 15 years coming up, isn't it? 15 years from the first episode.
yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
It's
Isn't that crazy?
insane. It's absolutely insane.
Time
And
flies.
It does. It does. But like I talk about it so much, like I think it doesn't even register to me that it ended in 2019 because I guess it really
No.
didn't for me. But
Well, we all had that weird 5 years there that sort of happened and didn't happen. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, we really do. No, that's true. That's completely true. God, I can't imagine like, hey, would you like to be on multiple episodes of Game of Thrones? Like I probably would I don't know, probably would have had a panic attack and screamed and probably scared a lot of people.
I did too, to be honest. When I first got offered hard home, I did too, but for a slightly different reason, actually. Um, I was genuinely, I was genuinely worried whether I could physically do it. I'll be honest with you, I was genuinely
Right.
worried because I got the gig and it said, "Now this is going to be a huge battle. There's going to be 350 extras in the field. You're going
Oh
to
my
be there
God.
for
So are you
weeks."
talking about Hard Home? Like
This is hard home.
specific?
This is the first one.
Okay.
It was the smaller of the two. Bastards was bigger. Can I swear? Okay, yeah.
Yes. Yes. I'm 18 and
I'll,
up.
I'll, I won't go over the top, but
No, you're
I'm a
fine.
wildling. I fucking swear all the time. I can't help
Yes.
it.
No,
That's
you're
just the way it is.
no, I'm 18 and up. 18 and up. You're
Okay.
fine.
But no, Battle of the Bastards, it was my biggest shot. It was 450 extras. But when I first got the offer, I actually started flicking through all the wildling sort of bits in Game of Thrones. And one of the first scenes that come up was where Tormund's attacking the village and everyone's running across the big field. And I was like, fuck, can I run across a field all day? Will I be able to do that without having like a heart attack or something like that? To be honest with you, I was a bit worried I could do it. But it wasn't too bad. It was tough. It was tough. It was, without a doubt, one of the most brutal things that I've ever done physically. It was hard work. It was hard. Hard home was a lot of running. It was a lot of fighting. It was a lot of falling. It was a lot of lying on the ground for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Bastards the next year, it was really tough, man. It was really tough. Like the big crush. I don't know if I put the photograph. I think I did put the photograph of me in the crush and Battle of the Bastards on the TikTok. That was brutal. That big crush scene. That was as real for us in that field shooting the crush as it
The
was for you
fact that you
guys
don't
watching
think
it. It
I
was.
have this ready, guys, y'all.
There I am. It's all teeth and beard.
Y'all,
It's
y'all
all,
have
you
got
just
to
see my teeth and
understand
beard.
this, guys. Like, Battle of the Bastards is the highest rated episode of Game of Thrones. Like, it is iconic. The
Yeah.
cinematography is insane. And this scene, John's in the center and he's literally getting smushed. And like, I remember watching this. Like, I have chills right now. Like,
I'm
it
shivering
is
thinking about it.
it is so insane. Like, Miguel Sapochnik is a genius. Kit Harington is
Yeah.
amazing. Every single person, he's literally getting closed in on. And
Yeah.
if you notice, like since John's in the center, this is one of the parallels because there's also the scene with Daenerys that's the Misa scene where there's all the people because they parallel.
Absolutely.
Guys, if you look right here, there is an arrow. That's Richard. He's in the damn scene. The most iconic scene in the episode. He made it. He's right there, y'all. Like I
The
can't.
weird thing, see that photograph? The weird thing with that photograph, it looks as if it looks as if I'm actually quite far away from Kit, from Lord Commander. But when I was
Not
there,
really.
I could have sworn we could have reached out and touched hands. We actually had me and Kit had a very, very short conversation during that scene.
Are you
It was
serious?
just him. He was, yeah, I like, well, that bottom shot of me standing beside him, like that was 3 days in the long haul.
Uh-huh.
So 3 days standing shoulder to shoulder to people like you talk. Do you know what I mean? You talk.
Yeah.
Not that he's not my mate. Do you know what I mean? Like we're not connected on
Yeah, but
LinkedIn or
he's
anything,
a nice
you know.
guy.
But
Yeah.
oh, he's a lovely lad. He's a lovely lad. But for a few days, we were on. He referred to me as Richard, and I referred to him as Kit. Do you know what I mean? So
Oh.
he was a nice dude. But in the crush shot, I remember he was doing the bit where he was coming up each time, and we'd done it about 20 times. Man, he just kept having to climb up and climb up and climb up, and
Man.
he sort of got. He'd had enough of it. He'd had enough, and he was just sort of cursing and going, "Man, I've had enough of this. This is so hard."
Yeah.
And I just said to him, Kit, surely it's not as bad as Hard Home. Hard Home was way worse. And he just said, no, Richard, you see, for us actors, the Battle of the Bastards is way, way worse than Hard Home. Hard Home was cold. It was bitterly, bitterly cold.
Yeah.
Whereas Battle of the Bastards was just mud. It was just constantly walking through this soupy, thick mud. So I'd say, I'm not sure. I could have sworn I could have reached out and touched his fingers because we had this conversation, but
Yeah.
we're actually quite far apart. So that shot that you have there, that's literally only the middle group of us. That shot outside of the frame of that photograph goes out for another 20 people in each direction. So there was hundreds of us literally crammed into that space, all fighting for survival. It was as real as it gets.
This is Hard Home. I forget not everybody's obsessive. Hard Home. This is the iconic scene. You have John. He's on the little boat, and then everybody knows this. This is Hard Home.
Yeah.
This is what he's talking about. Like,
I'm
there's
actually see the
tons
shot of the Night
wild.
King. I'm actually just under his right elbow.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You got
My-
in the
my
most
last-
iconic scenes in the
I
episode
know,
too.
I did nerd out, I must admit. I've counted my appearances in Hard Home. I appear on screen 47 times.
Oh my god, I would do that too. Oh my god.
Some of them are quite random and some of them in the background, and there's one scene that I joke that I'm actually in twice in the same bit. Do you remember when the White Walkers and the Whites come and they're all hacking at the front of the walls? And on
Yes,
the inside
yes,
Hard Home, all the
yes.
wildlings are hacking at their arms. Well, to double up the numbers, I did a shot with the camera behind me as a wildling hacking at the Whites' arms. And I also did a shot on the other side of the fence as one of the Whites, like putting their arm through. So I say that I'm hacking at my own arm because I'm on both sides of the fence.
Yeah. That is absolutely insane. Let me ask you, okay, so like you had fight scenes, obviously. So does somebody teach you what to do? Or are you just like figuring it out? Like, how does that work?
You get, let me see if I can show you on screen. Actually, I'll pull back a bit. What to do, they teach you four very basic moves. So if it's my sword, if you're defending, you do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're attacking, you attack those points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you start
Wow.
this little dance, and then you start like moving as you do it, and then you'll go. One of you becomes a caller. So you start doing just 1, 2, 3, 4, but then the caller will go 2, 4, 3, 1. So it makes you a little bit sort of jerky, and you dance around a little bit.
So
We spent about 2 days doing that. We spent about 2 days figuring that out. It's great fun actually. And it was Vlad that took us. You know, the dude that plays the Night King. It was him that
yeah.
trained us for it. He's one of the stunt guys. Yeah, he was quite
Epic.
intense.
So, okay, what kind of weapons do they give everybody? Like, is it
I
what
had
is it made out of?
the real metal swords. They're real metal swords. They're real metal axes. The Game of Thrones. They do not fake things. That hence hundreds of people crushed together. You know, they don't fake it. If they can do it for real, they will do it for real.
So all these
So we've
people are
real
fighting
swords.
with real metal swords. Like
Yeah.
seriously.
Now they don't have blade edges on them. You know, they're not
Right.
sharp, but they're still a 3 foot pointy piece of metal. You could like really hurt yourself. Like, you know, we all have scars on our hands from them.
Dang. Man, that's a scar with a story there. Like
Oh, absolutely.
that's epic. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
I
God.
had for Hard Home, let me remember, I had my sword in my belt. I had an ice pick, and I think I had a blade as well. Yeah, I had a blade round the side. So I had to put all this kit on every day. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So so did you have the same outfit? Like,
Yep.
okay, so did somebody like come by and like take measurements and stuff and go through all that?
Yeah, I'll give you a wee run. It's a good story actually. I'll give you a run on roughly how a season would work for us. Um, the first for Hard Home season 5, I got paid for a total of 33 working days.
Oh,
For
wow.
season 6, I got paid for a total of 37 working days. The very first day we would have worked would have been about the third week of August, would be in 2 days in the third week of August, just to do costume fittings. There's no cameras about this stage. We just do costume fittings. Because every single piece of your costume is coded to your name, right down to boot straps, boots, boot covers, your weapons, your trousers, your coat, the wee scarves. Every single piece is costume coded to each of us.
Mhm.
Look, we all know what the fandom's like. There would be someone going, at 17 minutes, your sword is black, but at 20 minutes, your sword is silver. We would notice. We
Unless
would
it's
notice.
a Starbucks
So
cup.
every single bit's coded. So we'll do
Hmm.
that the third week. Then the fourth week of August, we're in for another 2 days in the main studio itself. And no cameras about still. And for those 2 days, we would play a series of schoolyard games. Like, do you know that game you played in school where everyone puts a hanky in their back pocket and you have to
Hmm.
run around and grab hankies and defend your hanky and stuff like that? We'll play all these little like team building games, you know. And what
Wow.
they do with that, they'd whittle after all those games, they'd whittle it down to the winning group or the winning team, and they would call us the hero team. And they would do this on purpose because they knew that the hero team were physical, they were competitive, and they'd take the abuse, for want of a better term, they would take the abuse. So that shot on the beach of us all at Hardhome behind the
Mhm.
Lord of Bones, every one of those extras you see behind him, if you can see their face, those
Mhm.
guys and girls are all hero team. Because when that shot was set up by Miguel, he placed every body and every face exactly where he wanted them to be. He created every single thing in that scene. And then whenever he was ready, we were all taken aside by someone in the crew. And they said to me, okay, Richard, Miguel wants you in this shot. He thinks you're perfect for it. He estimates it's going to be 4 filming days. Are you
Mhm.
definitely going to give me all 4 days? Because in that one shot, I'm going to underestimate it. There was probably for that whole sequence of Tormund, the Lord of Bones, and John, there
Mhm.
was at least 50 takes done of the whole thing. At
Are you
least 50
serious?
takes. Oh God, yeah, yeah. The first line that you hear, that's the one. The first line that you hear might be take 47, but the second line that you hear might be take 2 or 3. So I
Wow.
couldn't do 2 days of it and go, oh, it's cold, I'm not coming back. And then
Right.
they could easily swap me with another big redhead, but it wouldn't go so far and then click to a new person
Yep.
because they use different takes. It would be, all over the place. So anytime you see our faces, we are the hero team, because it's the hero team that come every day. We don't give up. We'll take the abuse and we'll just keep going and going and going.
Well, see, I
So
wondered
yeah,
that
so they
because
get.
I've seen costumes that had hero stitched in, and I wondered what that meant.
It is, yeah, it is. It's a sort of a yeah. It's a term they use quite a lot. I hope to define it properly. It's a term they use a lot for people who will stand out slightly from
Hmm.
in whatever department you're doing. There's the like even with the swords, like Jon Snow has 5 or 6 different swords,
Hmm.
and some of them are light for when he's like running around, and some of them are dressy, and then
Hmm.
the ones that he's using, like when he's fighting the Night King, that's the hero sword.
Hmm.
So the hero is a term you'll hear them using. It just means it's slightly different to the normal. Do you know what I mean? So it can be applied on lots of different things, I believe.
That makes sense because when I went to the Game of Thrones auction that was in Texas, the listing would have hero sword because there was more than
Yeah,
one long claw in the
that's it.
auction.
Yeah,
And then
that's
there were
it.
some
Yeah,
other things that had like hero. It was mostly the swords, I think. There was
it is. Yeah.
Needle.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Like, which is
I should have had
crazy.
my swords handy actually.
Oh yeah, you do. You have a collection.
Yeah, yeah, we all have those. They robbed the boss of my tour company.
Hmm.
Every one of our guides has a sword bag to take on tour. I carry Longclaw, Oathkeeper Brienne's sword, Rob's sword, Needle, and they also carry an ice with me as well. Rob's sword, the big tall one. So
It's great. Don't you have
they're worth a
Widow's Wail
fortune now.
too?
They're worth a fortune, and I'm up the dark hedges every day with them, fighting with them and stuff. They're worth thousands.
I have one. I have Widow's Wail. That's the only one I have. I have Widow's
I used to
Wail.
have it. Where is it? I think it's in the store in Belfast. I used to have one of it. We've got everything in the company. We've got for the tours. We've got 300 like just dress swords, just like standard swords. We've got all our sword bags. We've got 6 ice. We've got
Oh,
2 of the mountain sword. The mountain sword is absolutely huge. I can barely even lift it. It is so big. We've got Robert's Warhammer,
oh wow.
Euron's axe, all of it, man. We've got it all.
So, do y'all take some of those with you so when people want to do pictures and stuff, they can have a. Oh my God, that's so
That's what it's all
fun.
about. That's
I
all
bet
about.
they love
The,
that.
The two words people talk about now in tourism is immersion and experience.
Hmm.
It's no longer good enough to take somebody somewhere and go point your camera that way. They want to
Yeah.
get immersed into it and they want to experience it. So for us, the immersion is going to all the locations. I've got my little 10-inch tablet that we'll pull out.
Hmm.
I've got A3 screen grab. So we stand there, look at the photographs and watch the clip. We literally stand and watch the clip live, on the screen while we're on location. So that's the immersion. And then the experience, when we get to the King's Road at the end of the day, as you've maybe seen some of the shots, I've got a load of Stark cloaks with the colours and the swords. So we'll fire the cloaks on. We have a few swords around, and that's the experience part of it as well. So
That's
I like the nerd out.
probably, honestly, probably one of the most recognizable places. That
Absolutely, that's
that's
beautiful.
the King's Road.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
my office.
too. Right. I mean, guys, like he acts that's what he does. He takes people to see these like absolutely amazing areas where scenes were filmed that like you can just if you're passionate about Game of Thrones, which a lot of people are, like I would assume people probably get emotional.
It absolutely, yeah. It really is. It sounds like a boast. It really is a blessed job to do. It really is. Like I only ever meet people on one of the best days that they're having that year. They're in holiday mode. They're away from home. They're in Ireland for the first time, maybe, and then they're standing in Melisandre's cave, or where Rob was proclaimed King of the North, or the Wildling Pit, or the Iron Islands, or something, something. There's so many locations we've got here. We've literally got. I think the North Coast route has a choice of about 40 different locations that we could go and see. In one 8 hour day, there's 40 different shots that we could see. The most I can cram into our 8 hour day is 21. So we see 21 locations when we go out on tour.
Oh my God,
It's
that's
almost too much.
I mean, but it's absolutely amazing. Like so pretty much if damn near whoever your favorite character is, you're gonna be able to see a place that either they interacted with or were close to or something
Absolutely.
like that. So,
Ballintoy Harbour in particular, the Iron Islands, it has like three locations within one. And
mhm.
that one location, every character you care about in Game of Thrones is filmed there. Everyone. Daenerys was there. Well, Varys's death scene was shot there. So that was Varys, Tyrion, Daenerys, Missandei. Grey Worm
Yep.
was there. John's been there. Stannis was there for that another shot. Melisandre, the Greyjoys, all of them, man, all of
And
them.
Drogon, obviously,
And Drogon, of course.
was
Yeah, yeah.
obviously there. I'll be honest with you, if I was there at that place, like, okay, everyone knows I love the dragons, but I mean, it's complete pitch black, and then Drogon just like shifts
Yeah.
forward and makes that low ground. Like, I can promise you, Richard, I intend to take the tour with you at some
Oh, you'll
point.
be over soon.
I
Don't
will
worry.
cry. I will cry and it will be ridiculous. I will literally cry because I love that show that much. And being there, like, it's bad for Varys, but my God, what an iconic scene.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's a huge one, that one. It's a huge one. It's a huge one. Like it does, like a lot of people do get a lot of people get visibly very moved when they go to specific places. Another thing I'm able to do on the private tours, the bus tours we can't do that, but on the private tours in the car I can do this. Because there's so many options to go to in that coastline, if someone has a particular character that they're crazy about, I can cut out something and make sure to put that in. Like one of the locations we'll pass is Knockdhu, a mountainside called Knockdhu.
mhm.
And that's where in season one, ep one, where Ned Stark executes Will the Night's Watchman. And also right beside that, on the same spot, is I think was it season 6 or 7, when Littlefinger is selling per Sansa to the Boltons. They're up on a
Mhm.
hillside, and he's like grabbing her by the shoulders and giving her a bit of a
Yep.
hard time.
Mhm.
You can get to that location. Now, to get to it, you need to divert off the main road for about 25 minutes. Then we park up, walk across two fields. I point at a third field and go, "That's it there," which is quite vague. But I'd
Right.
one lady, and she was like, "Look, Sansa is my girl. Sansa, I just love Sansa. And I said, "Look, I can get you to a location. I'm gonna have to. I think I cut out Melisandre's cave. I'm gonna have to cut a location out from the other tour, but I can get you there." And she's like, "I don't care. I just need to stand where Sansa Stark stood. So it gives me real scope to do real individual things for people and just go off on our own and get away from the tourists and just go to something that's very, very special for people. Um, One for yourself would be Benevena, a place just round the coast a little bit, which is where, of course, Khaleesi Daenerys was surrounded by all the Dothraki. Remember, they sort of loop around her at the end of the season. So you can get to that. It's a hard one to get to, but you can stand right there and go, here we are.
Richard, that is amazing because that's where the books stop. Is right
Absolutely.
there. So like, I mean,
Absolutely.
like I've literally got like chicken skin goosebumps because that is where the book stopped for her.
Yeah.
Oh my
There was
God, that is crazy.
That's a big point, actually. Whenever season 5 was great fun, season 5 was hard home. All the book readers knew a fair idea of what was sort of going on there. But at the start of the season, before we even start filming, the first day we're in costume on set, they play us what they call a previs, like a pre-visualization. It's like a quite bad animated version of the scene that you're going to do for the next couple of weeks. So it's just like stick figures and stuff. But when we come back for season 6, Miguel came in and addressed us all, and he says, "Oh, great to see you back." And he pointed at a few faces that he remembers. Good to see everyone back for another season. It's great to see all the new faces as well. He says, "Now, guys, you know where we're at. What I'm about to show you is beyond the books. There are 50 people in the world who know what you're about to see." And they stuck on the disc, and we got the two armies facing across. We got Bran running across the field. We got the charge. We got the crush, and everyone was just sitting there like, it was pure silence. There was pure silence. Even when nobody cheered or anything, there was literally silence for about 15 minutes. And he stopped the tape and just looked at us and went, "Well," and everyone's just like,
Oh my God.
Insane,
I can't even
man.
imagine.
And that's when it started getting really strict. Up to season 5, like Matt, we were all in the big crush with our phones out taking selfies. Do you know what I mean? Like we were all
Yeah.
acting idiot. By season 6, what they were doing, they were putting like a sticker over your camera lens, so you could have your phone in case there was an emergencies, but you couldn't use the camera because of this sticker on it. And if at the end of the day your sticker was interfered with, well, you lost your day's pay and you got sacked. So.
Oh, wow.
But then
That's actually a really good
everybody-
idea.
Isn't it? Yeah. So you could, because people were like, "Man, I can't leave my phone in a locker for 12 hours. Like my
Right.
wife's pregnant. The kids are sick. You're human issues. But by season 7, the rules were, look, if you want to take part on this, you're going to put your phone in a locked box in the office, and you didn't get access to it all day because there was so many secrets by that stage. There was so many, and all of us extras got offers over the years, like various, will remain nameless, but various different organizations and people when they found out our social media and stuff, you'd get a wee email going, "Look, I'll get you $5,000 for every photograph you can take of Kit Harington or anybody else." We all got them, but I'm not aware of anybody taking the money. I'm very proud to say that.
You know what? That speaks volumes too. That really.
Well, we're all very proud of it. It's nerdism aside, and to me, by the way, I talk about this on tour. Like I use the nerd word quite a lot. The nerd word is not any form of an insult to me. In fact, it's a high compliment.
It's in my podcast name. You're not gonna bother us. No,
Absolutely,
we're proud.
man. Absolutely. So it's a very positive thing. So we're all Thrones nerds. Do you know what I mean? So we all took it very, and we all get very tribal about our houses that we're in. Like I'm very much a wildling. I'm very proud to be a wildling.
Yeah.
We follow no sirs and lords. We bow to no banners. We are the free folk. We need, we love that stuff. So
Oh
we
my
all get
God! And
quite
then it
passionate about it,
shows. It literally shows.
Fabulous, yeah.
I mean, my God, it's like one of the biggest shows of all time, and there's a reason for that. People love Game of Thrones that don't like any other fantasy at all. It broke barriers. I mean, like it. I don't think there'll ever be anything like it again, ever. Not a bit.
I don't think so. I don't. And the more anybody tries to do it, it was a Game of Thrones, a Song of Ice. It was a zeitgeist that really
Yes.
happened to us all, wasn't it? And
Yes.
like one of the favorite shots I play on the tour is where Arya Stark is heading to Bravos, and she gives the guy the Braavosi coin. He's like,
Yep.
"You shall have a cabin," and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And it's like that was season 4, and I love every season of it for different ways for different reasons. But for me, season 4 was when it was at its zenith, man. That season 4 was
Wow. Four,
when
three
it
and
was really
four.
nothing could touch it. Nothing could touch Game of
Nothing.
Thrones. It was just
Nothing.
this. It was unheard of. The scale of it, the depth of it, and TV shows and movie are very different.
Hmm.
I don't fully understand it because I'm not from that side of it. But they're very different things, and generally the two of them don't meet. But by the time Thrones got to season 4, it had blown apart all those constraints of what a TV show should be capable of, and they were into movie territory. So it was total virgin territory for the art. It was something very special, very off its time, and it would be hard to see anything being quite so big again. It would be very hard. Different times now, isn't it? Different to be. I don't know. We're not. I don't think society's quite as irreverent as we were. I don't know. We've all got quite, a bit serious in
I
some
don't.
sense.
I don't think it'll ever happen again. I mean, I'm not saying there won't be anything huge, but it won't be like that. Like,
Not quite like that. No, not
no,
quite. I don't
people
think so. No.
they made huge events for new episodes. They had these giant watch parties with like cleverly
Yeah,
named food and
yeah.
stuff. Like it was just
And
it
then
was
after
everything.
every episode, we got Throwncast. We had was the show we had here. Like after every episode, like the
Yeah.
commercials went on, the commercials went down, and Sue Perkins, one of the presenters, she always had one of the actors on, and like everything was dissected. Like it was
Yes.
crazy, man. It was
Like
crazy.
every single thing, and it was so fun. And there was a theory about everything, and that was really fun. I mean,
It's so
it's hard
unique.
to explain how all encompassing it was and how many people really, really got into it. I mean, I did, obviously. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
not really sure. As I sit in a throne, people think that this is a green screen, and every once in a while, I'll just have to like hit it. I'm like, no,
Good on you. It's the real stuff.
it's not. It's not. But well, my whole like the thing is, Richard, like your life was changed by the show, and
Yeah.
it gave you this incredible opportunity, and you're wonderful at what you do, and you're excited, and
Thank you.
that's why people enjoy it because you're excited and you have the stories and all that.
Yeah.
Was it, in a lesser way, like because of the show, I get to do this, and this is what I do, and I'm thankful for it all the time. So like it literally has affected people from where it was filmed over. I'm in a different country, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and this just happened by chance. I dressed up like
Yeah.
Daenerys for Halloween, and people really liked it. And then now I do this, and I love
It's
it.
great. It's brilliant.
I love it
Good
so
on you.
much because I love Game of Thrones. I love all of
Absolutely.
it. It
Absolutely.
it's just unmatched. It's completely unmatched. Like I remember how it felt to watch Hard Home and just you're
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, no, like all the wildlings, oh God, no, excuse me, the free folk, they're oh my God, they're dying. And then the mother and you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
oh my God, and she's dead. And you're like,
She
no,
was
no.
lovely
And
too. She was really nice.
it's so and she was incredible, by the
She was
way.
brilliant.
And like a lot of people thought she was going to be a new character. She was so damn good until she
Yeah.
died. And then, and you're like, you're already heartbroken because like these are the wildlings. Damn it, they've already had it hard enough. And like this happens. And then just when you think it's as gut wrenching as possible, there's the Night King. And
Yeah.
he raises them, literally defiling them. They've already died. You've already mourned them being dead, and now their own body that is no
The
longer
portals are
theirs
going to
is
get
worked
used.
against
Yeah.
them to help him. It's gut wrenching. It's like it was just. I'll never forget it. I won't because. And then the
It was great.
smile on his face at John. It's
Yeah.
like you thought
That
you
wee
did
smirk.
something. You didn't do anything. I mean, like, I'm sorry. What's gonna top that? Like, I can't think of anything. It was absolutely incredible. Just like Battle of the
I am
Bastards.
quite proud to be the two episodes the two main episodes I sort of appear in little bits either side of both Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards, just like setup and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But the two main episodes I was in, Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards, they're both top 3, if not top 5 episodes of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
So I'm quite proud of that, man. It's just by chance that's what I ended up in. I must, but I'm quite
I don't
proud
know.
that I was
I don't know
there
if it's
for
my
two of the
chair.
biggest scenes that they did. I was right there, and I can point at myself on screen as well. I wasn't just observing; I'm right in the thick of it. And for both those scenes, I can go there and there, there and
Dude,
there, there and
no,
there.
you can ask my friends. Like when I was explaining like who I get to interview, like I'm screaming at them. I'm like, you don't understand. Like you need to understand who this is. He's right there. You've got to
I think
understand.
people
He's
don't believe
breathing
me.
the same air. Hello, they look like
I
brothers.
genuinely, yeah, I'm the one in
Come
the hat.
on. Tell me that
I'll give
doesn't
you the
look like
story
your
of that
brother.
photograph. Do you want the story of that photograph of me and Chris?
Yes, I do.
What
Yes.
it was,
It's Tormund,
another one
by
of the
the way.
little, yeah, another one of the little things they got me to do on set was that I worked as a body double for Chris. Now I never ever appear. I know of so many of these stories.
Dude,
I
that's
never ever
epic.
appear. I never appear on camera as Tormund. That's not the deal. The best way to describe a body double role is if the crew need the centerpiece of the shot to stand in the rain for an hour while they get the lighting right, the famous guy doesn't do it. I do it. So I dress
Oh,
up like him. I
wow.
stand there. They get everything ready, and then whenever it's all ready, they'll do. Okay, Chris, in you come, and he'll come in. He'll like high five me and go, "I've got this." I'm going to like slaughter loads of people. And so I get a wee bit of a bonus. I get a financial boost for that, and I get to hang around with Tormund most of the day, which is a pretty cool
Right.
thing
And
to
so
do.
the actor doesn't have to just stand because they're probably going to do multiple takes. So you stand there so they can get everything lined up and then
Yep,
he comes in, right?
yep, yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. And he's obviously really nice. I've heard stories that he's an incredible guy.
He is fantastic. He like I'll be honest with you. I do not have one negative story about any of the actors that I watched on set, and I'm not just saying that because I've signed a contract. I am genuinely not. I do not have one negative story about any actor being difficult, being a diva. None of that. They were all absolutely fantastic. Now, almost all of the actors I watched with I would have seen them have a grumble about the weather or the cold, or just as you do. But
Yeah.
Chris Hivji was the one actor who, for every second that I saw him on set, he had that big smile he shoots at Brienne when they come into Winterfell. It's like, yeah,
Yes.
he always had that big smile, and even when everyone else was complaining, like he'd be running in going, "Oh, you're fine," and like slapping us and stuff like that, like just being Torment, just being our.
Well, and
So
see, that's the thing too. Like pretty much all the actors, like you could tell that their character and who they are, it's
they're quite
very
linked. Yeah,
yes,
they're quite
very,
linked.
which I mean is why there was so much emotion when the show ended because they've literally poured everything into the character. Like I was
It was
having a
perfect casting.
conversation. Well, I mean, like it I talk about this a lot, like incessantly. Um, my boyfriend Chris, who's a moderator in the chat right now, what we were talking about is like it's absolutely incredible how well these people acted the parts. Okay, to the point where if you go back and you're reading or you listen to the audiobooks, which I have to do audiobooks because of ADHD, like you're seeing the
Yeah,
actor. That's who you see. You will not see anything else. And
yeah,
how impressive is that? Like for the rest of time, when people think of Tormund, that's who they're going to see. When people think
yeah.
of John, this is who they see. This is
That's who
Jon
they say.
Snow.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like that's absolutely incredible. The casting was absolute perfection,
It was
and they
perfect.
loved it.
One I always mention is the casting of the all the younger ones at the time. The younger kids.
Yeah,
Like they must have had people talking to them, going, "Look, guys, this is going to be pretty big. This is going to define the rest of your life. This is going to be massive. You need to stay on the script." Like there was no stories of any of them coked out of their heads, topless on a Harley down Sunset
nope,
Strip. Do you know what I mean? There was none of that. There was none of that
none,
rock and roll. They
nope,
all towed the line, and
they
they must
did.
have had people guiding them, going, "Like this is so important. You've got to stay on the script here."
All
And
right,
so many of them have gone off to do. They've had fantastic careers as well. You see them popping up all the time, and it is difficult. Like you watch different shows, you go, "Oh, there's the Red Viper." You can't help calling them by their old names. I must admit, but
true.
but they're all doing very well, man. And it's
That's a
I
very
love them
good
dearly. I
point.
wish them the best.
That's a damn
You
good point. Like, and one thing I think they did, I well, at least like, um, for I know Sansa and Arya, the actor, like they were friends and they hung out. So I think some of that was probably part of it. Is
Absolutely.
they stuck together and
They
just kind
grew
of
up
did their
together.
own thing. Yeah,
They
and
grew up together.
yeah, they did. They grew up together.
Yeah.
And I mean, we still, all the time, anytime there's two of the main characters or actors from Game of Thrones in the same place, they're going to make a beeline to each other. Hell, I mean, we just had a movie with John and Sansa as a couple.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the movie, but it just came out, and I remember thinking, man, that's weird. I
I saw
mean,
all the memes of the scene where they had to kiss and they were like totally disgusted by the whole thing. They
I'm
freaked them out.
sure Sophie and Kit were probably like, which is really funny. And obviously, Kit's married to Rose Leslie, which I mean that's
The,
Egret.
the
And
egret.
then you have Daenerys and Khal Drogo. Anytime they're anywhere near each other, like they're really
They're really
close.
fun. Yeah.
And Jason Momoa loves Emilia Clarke to pieces. And anytime they're together, you see it. Anytime they're all
Absolutely.
doing like a
Did you know?
convention, like
Did you know that it was Jason Momoa that was guilty of the coffee cup in season 8?
what?
Do you remember the coffee cup? Do you
Yeah.
remember the
Oh,
coffee cup that appeared in season 8?
yes.
That was Momoa. That was
Are you
Momoa's
serious?
fault. Yeah.
Do you know how
Apparently,
often I get asked about that?
they're great friends. You know, they're, as you say, they're great friends. And
Yeah.
anytime he would have been in the UK doing things, he would have jumped over to Belfast just to sort of
Yeah.
catch up with everybody. And I think he was doing Aquaman that year, and he happened to be over. And I think Amelia she'd had a hard throat, like she was drinking lots of like honey and hot water to help her
Yeah.
throat. And apparently, one of the guys on the crew that told me about it at the time says, "Look, we're all standing there, and the director was getting ready to shoot, and just all of a sudden, Momoa just walked across the set with this cup of honey for her, and went, there you go, get that into you," and walked away. And who the hell's going to stop Jason Momoa doing absolutely fucking anything? Do you know what I mean? You just leave him alone, you know. So that's how it ended up sneaking in. It was bloody Khal Drogo.
Doing something nice, you know?
Exactly, being a decent guy, you know.
That's the mood of his life. Obviously, he's going to do that. Come on now.
He's a good dude. I never met him. I've never worked with him. But I know a couple of a lot of the actors had different relationships with us
Yeah.
extras. And the bigger actors they would have been kept a little bit more removed from us. You know, not by production, just by the nature of what they were
Right.
actually doing. You know, the nature of the seriousness of their job. But the sort of the smaller actors, the smaller parts would have a lot of them like created friendships. Like anytime Jason is over here, there's 3 or 4 guys that I know that maybe hit a couple up and they'll go out for a beer and just go out mad in Belfast and they'll look after him and all that sort of stuff. You know, so
Oh, that's
they
nice.
all made connections here. You know, the show was here 9 calendar years, 8 shooting years. You know,
Yep.
they employed a lot of people here, man. The show made such a difference to my little country. Like the world knows the history of my part of the world, and it wasn't nice for the last 5 decades. It was pretty brutal here for those crazy years. But when Thrones arrived, it gave people work, it gave them focus, it gave them unity. And they also, NI Screen, our film authority here, put a stipulation under them that they had to employ 30% of their crew from the local populace. I
Oh,
think the
that's
idea is that Hollywood doesn't just travel around the world, just like sucking an area dry and moving on. So that was and not even the cool jobs, not even camera, sound. That's like hair, makeup, costume, electricians, joiners, trades. You know, and like any endeavor, whenever it comes back for a second go, they like to hire the same people.
yeah.
So anytime these young adults started on Thrones, every season they would like move up a level in their apprenticeship in their career. I tell it quite facetiously. They started on season 1 making cups of tea for people. On season 2 they were carrying cables. In season 3 they were carrying cameras and machines. In season 4 they were setting the cameras up. In season 5 they're running the machines. So there was hundreds of people here who served their apprenticeship in probably the best TV and movie academy in the world, which is HBO, for like 8 filming years. So get used to my accent. You know, we are everywhere, man, and we're highly trained. You know, what I did as an extra was unskilled labor. Do you know what I mean? There's zero qualifications needed to do what I can do, what I did, other than can you stand up and run for 12 hours a day?
Mhm.
That's about
Right.
it. but anybody with skills, they got to, and I say every department, like hair electricians, and let me tell you, a first year hairdressing trainee or electricians trainee, they get paid a hell of a lot more in a game of, or in a movie set than they do in a salon or a
Yeah.
building site. You're talking 18, a couple of £100 a day. When you're qualified, six, seven, £800 a day. You know what I mean? They did very well, man. They did very well, and the show gave a lot back to the country. It really did. It really gave us a lot, and still is, man. It still is.
Yes.
15 years later, I'm still working in Game of Thrones.
Well, and I mean, this would be a good time to bring up. We just had the first season of a very popular series, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms,
Yeah, yeah.
which I enjoyed immensely.
Me too, man. It was a very
Immensely.
different tone, but it was. It's. I think it's. Well, we hope it's going to do very well. We believe it's got all the elements to do very well.
It's going to be fine. I can tell
Yeah.
you, it's going to be fine. And I'm basing that on what I thought about it. And also the fact that you can go and you can look at random TikTok videos, and then you go in the comment section. You know how people like to put stickers of like
Yeah.
emotions? I'm seeing stickers of dunk, like either laughing
Yeah.
or like being confused or
Brilliant.
angry
Brilliant.
and stuff. And then the way that people are still posting about Baylor, like it's it's definitely set up to
When you
do
see all
really
the
well.
edits, when you see like edit after edit after edit coming through, you're like, okay, this has got people. It's reached out and it's grabbed people, and
Yep.
we're getting into the ether. We're getting into the ether with it and getting all this stuff going, and
Well,
we're
and this would
very
be a good
excited.
time for you to tell people, like, if you want, also, if you want to see some places that are in the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, guess who knows?
Yeah, we're
Because,
excited as a company. It's back to Northern Ireland. It's back to our location. So like keep an eye on our company. It won't just be Game of Thrones locations. It'll be Dunk and Egg locations for the next few years too.
let's see. So, okay, so the classic shot with the tree, and when Sir Arlen the Long is buried, that's in Ireland. So, which makes me happy. I don't know how much of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was filmed in Ireland. Is there like a
Quite a
certain?
lot.
It was a lot, right? Because
Pretty
like,
much most of it actually.
okay, because I was gonna say, like, it seems like they stayed in the same area, so that's gotta be great for you guys too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well,
There, a lot of them are quite difficult locations to get to.
mhm.
Like that cottage in the hidden village. It's a 15-20 minute hike, literally up the side of a mountain to get there. It's pretty hard to get there. And the
Okay.
tree from the opening, you have to. It's a bit of a
Mhm.
walk up the side of Hen Mountain to get there. So they're quite remote. There it is. But we'll be filling them in. There's going to be more and more of them.
So, like, I mean, they showed the shot a bunch. That's the tree. It's a big deal. The tree's actually not there, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that without Richard. That's what you get when
Yeah.
you go on tour with Richard. You get to find out these things. That tree looked like it was there. It was not there. That's
No, no,
insane. Like, that's so cool,
no.
though.
I
Like,
might, I might go up and plant one someday. I might get a wee hawthorn sampling and take it up there someday and just stick it in.
oh, that would be really cool. I mean, it was a very powerful scene. I mean, like, it's especially like after he's buried Sir Arlen, and we're talking about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because that is the only person he had, the only person he's ever had that was close to a parent. And I mean, I was very hopeful for the series when I saw him cry, that just cried hard, cried. I was like, okay, we're good, because that's damn
Powerful,
good.
yeah, absolutely.
The
That's
acting was
powerful stuff. Oh, it's fantastic, man. Again, great casting, man. Great casting.
see, and
Dexter
it's
and Peter,
giving
just
us hope.
fantastic.
That's how we felt about Game of Thrones. Like, Egg, that kid is so talented. Oh my God.
He was
Okay,
perfect.
the way we feel about Egg, like that's how excited we got with little Liana Mormont that was on her horse. Like
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, she was
that.
fantastic, wasn't she? She
Oh
was brilliant.
God. I still know the whole thing. Like Bear Island knows no king but the king of the north, whose name is Stark. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, I'm gonna know that for the rest of my life. I'll be in a nursing home somewhere saying stuff like that, and they're gonna be like,
She's saying it again.
okay, right. And I'll probably be in costume or something because at that point, might as well. I mean, I have all of them. Might as
Absolutely.
well keep wearing them. But I mean,
All
like,
in.
I don't care that he's a bastard. Ned Stark's blood runs through his veins.
Yeah.
He's my king from this day to my last day. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like it never stops. Like it's like
Yeah.
people do videos about like vocal stems, that stuff you just happen to say. Most of mine are from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't even know what I'm talking about. It
No.
just comes out. Thank God that my close circle of friends and my family know that that's Game of Thrones, because otherwise I'm pretty sure I get a lot more strange looks, especially when it's
Yeah.
not a real language and it's
Yeah.
something that, like it just kills me because if somebody says like a certain line and it's from Game of Thrones, like I feel like I have to finish it and say the rest
Yeah.
of it. Like literally.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's an example, and like I don't get political, it's just a funny story. But like, they had No King's Day. So most of No King's Day, I'm like, fuck the king.
Yeah.
Start. I mean, like, I can't help it. I think of the hound. Fuck the king.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just, that's it. That's just what happens because it's iconic. It's absolutely iconic and enjoyable, and people rewatch all the time. And there's new people. Like, I see people post, I'm finally starting Game of Thrones. And I'm like,
Yeah.
good, good. I
Well,
love that.
something I started to notice in the last few years doing the tours, um, people started getting younger. Do you know what I mean? Like I have a lot of bookings from like my couple yesterday where they were here for their 30th birthdays, so they were 30. Then the day before that, the couple was a mother and son, and the son was 17. Now this 17-year-old knew everything about A Song of Ice and Fire. He's read all the books, he's seen the show, everything. And I remember even when it started, like on the in the bus tour days, I was getting people on. They were like 21. I was like, "There's no way you watched season one. Like you were about 14. Like there's no way you watched it." But what's happening? Like, we're getting more. This is the power of the story. We're getting more generations of fans coming in, which is like it's a great sign. Do you know what I mean? Like when I'm getting 17-year-olds who are immensely passionate about A Song of Ice and Fire, and they know every bit of the show. They know more about my scenes sometimes than I do, because they've researched it and stuff like that. It gives you hope. Do you know what I mean? It's a powerful story. This is the new. This is the new Star Wars. This is the new lifestyle fandom. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes. And
I'm
the Night of the
I'm
Seven
coming
Kingdoms
50.
is just going to push that along.
It's going to push it on, man. I'm coming 53 this year. Like, I'm of that generation. Like, I genuinely know people who on their passport under religion it says Jedi. I know those people.
I got respect
Give
for
it
that.
time, it'll be the Lord of Light of the Seven. Do you know what I mean? Like, but this is the new big immersive fandom that people want to be part of.
And I think we're in a really good spot because A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going really well. And I think Aegon's Conquest is going to do really well. And
Absolutely.
that's just a couple things. And
Yeah.
the better A Night of the Seven Kingdoms does, then that just means we get more. And that's what we want.
Absolutely.
And I mean,
Absolutely.
there's talk about movies and animated series and all that. And I'm like, great.
All for it.
Yes. Love it.
More the merrier.
You had a question in the chat. What is your absolute favorite memory? What is your favorite memory from filming?
Ooh.
If you had to pick one, it could be two. It could be two.
God, do you know what? So much stuff happens. Do you know?
Yep.
A singular memory. The first thing that jumped in my head there was just too obvious, which was the people that I shared the time with. That's yeah. I would be tempted to say the people I shared the time with. The people on set, both extras and crew. Let me see some. Do you know what? I was hinting about this when we were chatting offline earlier. Actually, I'll do this story. You'll like this one. My first job for Game of Thrones was on season one. Uh, Long story short, I was educated as a musician when I was younger. So, in my degree, I did a sub in audio engineering. Now, I'm not a sound engineer, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm qualified enough to do low level work in that field. And the first job I had, season 1 of Game of Thrones, I was just a production assistant on the sound effects crew. We recorded suits of armor moving. We recorded the ravens flying, horses galloping. It was background noises. Do you know what I mean? Background noises.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, for me, this was 2009. For me, it was 3 weeks of quite a well-paid gig, and it was just before Christmas, so Santa was paid for. Do you know what I mean? The kids were young, so that's what was in my head. It was a well-paid gig.
Right.
Anyway, one day we were in the main studio in Titanic Studios, and I was in a little unit, or cell as they call it, a little unit right beside the throne room. And something was going on. There was a shot going on in the throne room. I'm not quite sure what it was, but something was happening there. And the red light was going on and off in the studio. And as I'm sure you all know, when the red light's on in the studio, that means that both audio and video is being recorded. So everyone goes, and then when the light goes off, you breathe again, because it's only on for a few seconds at a time. Anyway, there was a guy with me in a suit of armor. We were recording him moving around at the time. And as the red light went off this time, 3 people came into the unit that I was in, the little cell. There was an older man, a woman about my age at the time, and a young boy. And it was, like a family unit. You could tell it was a family unit. Anyway, the older guy sort of waddled over to me and asked me what I was doing. And I says, I'm doing some sound effects and Foley work, And then he said to me, are you enjoying yourself? You having a good time? I said, yeah, mate. As I say, in my head, it was Santa's paid for. Do you know what I mean? Christmas is covered this year. And then he asked me the big question. Now, this was 2009. I'll be honest, I was aware of A Song of Ice and Fire. I have a lot of friends that read the books. I hadn't read the books at that time. I wasn't really that aware of what the show was about. Again, to me, it was just a gig. It was just work at the time. And the gentleman said to me, so are you looking forward to the show coming out? And I, unfortunately, at the time, answered him honestly. And I said, nah, mate, it's not really my sort of thing, man. I'm more of a sci-fi guy, like I'm more Star Wars and that sort of stuff. And he let out this huge, big belly laugh. And as he walked away, and I turned around to the 2 guys that I was working for, both of them had eyes this size and a jaw down to the ground. And they went, you don't know who that was, do you? And I went, I don't know. It's just some short, fat American man with a white beard and a funny hat. Remind you of anyone? It was George fucking R.R. Martin. This is my meeting George Martin story. So I met George Martin in 2009. Not really my sort of thing, mate.
Oh God, I bet he loved that though. I bet he thought that was funny as hell. Oh God.
That's what it was. I think thinking, looking back at it, I think at that time everyone was sort of being very nice to him. Do you know what I mean? They were kissing up to him a wee bit, and he just got some big 6'3" redhead in Belfast going, fucking none to do with me, mate. I did redeem myself. During the filming of season 8, Castle Ward, which is season 1 Winterfell, they put on this absolutely fantastic event. It was a meet and greet with George Martin. And the first half of the evening, we were all in like a big meeting room, and George came onto the stage and he spoke for about 45 minutes and did a few questions and stuff, and everyone applauded like mad, and it was fantastic. And as he left the stage, the next part of the night was a banquet. We were going to have this huge banquet. So George left the stage, the organisers come in and they went, guys, look, this has been absolutely fantastic tonight. Everything's gone brilliantly so far. George is happy, his people are happy, it's fantastic. What we're going to do now, we're going to move over to the banquet hall. Now, you're all grown-ups, you've all been to a wedding before. When you arrive at the front of the hall, you'll see a seating plan with a table, your name on it. When you go in, you've got your name, sit in your place. When George comes in, it was set up, I'll show you on the screen, there was like a large table across the top, and then there was like 2 long tables at the bottom, and the top table was George. So we were all on these bottom tables. They said, when George comes in, by all means, give him a standing ovation, a round of applause, a big old shout. But whenever he sits down to eat, don't be taking photographs of the man eating his potatoes. Do you know what I mean? Like, be cool. Right. And we're like, absolutely, absolutely. Now, the whole way through, we're sitting like, you know what I mean? But we were pretty good. But at the end of it, absolutely. Like at the end of it, he got up and spoke again and quieted everybody down. We're like shouting like mad. And he says, guys, this has been a wonderful experience tonight. It is great to be back in the heart of Westeros, the spiritual home of the show all these years. It's great to be back here again, sharing the time with you guys. And then he said, now, I know what the organisers told you, and everybody pretty much behaved themselves. And he sort of looked at our table. Everyone's behaved themselves, but what I will ask all of you is if you stay where you are now, I will come to you. And he left his top table and he spent about 2 hours going down one side of the big table, up the other one, down one side and up the other one. Now, every
Wow.
couple or booking got 30 to 90 seconds with the man, but 30 to 90 seconds is more than enough time to say, I love your work. Thanks for this character. Here's a photograph of my dog, Nymeria, all that sort of stuff.
Yes,
And off we went.
seriously.
And just the way we were off the two tables, we were right at the end. So we were the last group of people. It was a company. We went as a company. The boss of the company bought us all the tickets to go to it. We were the last group to be spoken to. And everyone was like, obviously, really excited. And he knew who we were. It's like, oh, Game of Thrones tours. I've heard all about you guys. And we're like, God, are we going to get sued here or something like that? But as he got to me, I was like thinking to myself, going, I have to say it, man. I have to bring it up. I have to bring up what happened back in 2009. And when he got to me, I shook his
Oh
hand.
God,
Like,
were you
fucking hell,
nervous?
like, oh God, yeah. I was like, George, you might not remember this, but I actually met you back in 2009 filming season one. So you might not remember it, but there was a big ignorant Belfast redhead who told you your life's work was not really his sort of thing. And he sort of screwed up his eyes and went, I think I remember that. And I had to
Oh
just
my
say to him, well,
God.
can I please apologize because your life's work has turned into my life's work? And he had a good giggle to himself. And off we go. So those are my meeting George R. R. Martin stories. I embarrassed myself in the first one and redeemed myself in the second one. So that's probably one of my lasting memories. To whoever asked the question, that will be
Oh.
certainly a lasting memory of meeting the great man himself.
Honestly, you probably amuse him both times. It's
I think
probably refreshing.
he was an incredibly personable man. Do you know what I mean? He was incredibly level. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to spend an evening with. He really, really was, man. There was no um, like even there was a lady there who I think she kept coming up like tugging his sleeve and going, "Come on, George, we've had enough. We've had enough." And he was like, "No, I'm with my people." Do you know what I mean? So,
See, I
um,
love
so
that.
I had high estimation of the man before that incident, but after that, I have an even higher. The going round everybody. The talking to me is secondary, but the fact he took his time to speak to every single one of those fans in that room, like every single person had eye contact, handshake, words exchanged both directions. That's man, I think so much more of the man for doing that. He did not need to do that. If he had left that table, every one of us in the room would have been like, "Oh my God, this has been the best night ever." But the fact he did that, it's something pretty special, something pretty
And
special.
that's very telling. And that doesn't surprise me at all. Not one bit. Like, talk about like not letting it go to your head. Like, I don't know how, but like he has remained humble and nice and everyone loves him. And I'll be honest, the fandom, we're protective of him. We are.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely,
very
absolutely,
protective of him.
absolutely.
And a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, I get asked, like, when's he going to write a book? When's he going to write a book? And I've started being completely honest. And I'm like, considering everything he's done,
Yeah,
if you did 1/16th of what he's done, you would be doing something amazing. You know what? Let's just be very appreciative for all we have because
absolutely.
he was heavily involved in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and look how damn good that turned out to be.
Well, it's back to source material. You see, not to head into the season 7, 8 thing again. Like
No, no,
we all
but
agree, but it's back to source material,
back
which
to
is
source
very
material
special.
and what has happened. It was really damn good. And there's a
Even though it's so
showrunner that
different,
gets that.
it's such a different theme to tone to Thrones. It's such a different feel. The shorter episodes, the comedic.
Yep. The
Even the fact,
colors.
one of the things I heard on an interview that just really struck a chord with me. Thrones and House of the Dragon, fantastic shows, but they were shot with a view of the top of society looking down, whereas The Night of the Seven Kingdoms is a view from the bottom of society looking up. And I think
I love
people have
that.
sort of, I think people have linked onto that. I'm born in '73. I'm absolutely a cliche of Gen X. Do you know what I mean? I am bang in there in Gen X, and we loved our involved, deep, thick stories. Game of Thrones was perfect like that. I think the younger generations now below me are, I they have a bit of more irreverence about them. Do you know what I mean? Which is why the
Yes.
comedic element works.
Yes.
And then again,
100%.
with House of the Dragon as well, like there's or with Night of the Seven Kingdoms, there's no dragons, there's no magic, so it's a very different sort of period in history, and it's a very different tone. So um, I think it's going to be a big success, and
Yes.
the generations below me, the young millennials, the Zoomers, they're eating it up. They're eating it up, and it's like, okay,
That's
well,
why it had the
Asoiaf knew
silliness.
what he was doing.
Yes,
He knew what
God,
he was doing.
yes. That's
You
why you have pooping in the very beginning, the pooping behind the tree and stuff. It's got to have that. I mean, come on, like there's a
But
huge group of people that thought that was absolutely hilarious. I was shocked, and I was like,
it was
"What?"
brilliant.
But like
There's lots of
that,
lots of people haven't watched it yet. Like a few people I've spoke to who like just around the town and stuff who know what to do. And I said, well, so you're watching the new show? And a lot of people up to now have been like, no, 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 I'm waiting for the whole thing to be released, and then I'm going to blast the whole lot.
yep,
And they're going like, well, what's it like? I said, look, I'll let you make it up your own mind, but it's a different tone. Prepare yourself for a different tone. And I said, a couple of things that will give you an idea of the different tone without spoiling it. The opening of episode 1 has our main character having explosive diarrhea, and then the opening of the second show has an old man with a 3-foot dong. So it's a pretty different tone to it. So
if you want to kind of think of it like this, like when Game of Thrones first started, they felt like to grab people and bring them in, they needed topless women. There's a lot of topless women. All right. So now we're a different generation, and we have explosive diarrhea and a gigantic penis. So,
absolutely,
same
it's fantastic, isn't it?
idea, little different.
It's a good flip of the script, isn't it? It's a really nice flip
Yes.
of the script for a change. It's refreshing. It's
Yes.
very, very refreshing. It's very refreshing. Did you know? You probably know this. Did you know? At the end of season 1, Amelia Clark led the charge with the female actors with the whole nudity thing. When they asked her to sign her contract, she went, "Yeah, I'll sign the contract, but I'm staying. I'm keeping my clothes on, buddy."
Yep.
And I think a lot of the other girls were like, "Can you do that?" And so that's why it changed. That's why it changed.
Yes.
And
And
fair play to her. Fair play to her.
yep. And I think that was incredibly brave. And I've heard many stories about how there were things that occurred that should have probably been protected a bit more. And actually, one of the stories is Jason Momoa being helpful to her. So
Yeah,
I definitely think that that's really important. I just a million and five reason why I love Amelia
absolutely.
Clark, but eh, by doing that, like I think that kind of set a standard that went past Game of Thrones actually.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely. You
which
can't do that gratuitous thing anymore. It's different times, man. Do you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
different times. Like we need to get hold of these things. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes,
we're going off track a wee bit, I suppose, but it's different times, and it's good to see these things being addressed. Do you know what I mean? It's good things
yeah.
seeing it
But if
starting
it
to
makes
change.
sense, it's fine. You got a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and we have some. They're a bit more elevated than a camp follower. So I started calling them tourney opportunists.
That's a good one.
You like that?
That's a good one.
Because
I'm gonna use that one.
because they were a bit more elevated. Especially I cosplayed one who ended up being like way bigger than we thought. She ends up being a fossil weight. God love her. I mean, and pregnant, and he's as happy as he could possibly be. But people were asking about her, and I was like, I can't follow her. Just doesn't seem right. I was like, she's a tourney opportunist. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
much
it's
better.
totally fine. That makes sense to see that, but like the gratuitous stuff, like
It's just
nah,
yeah.
don't
Do we need to do that
uh,
anymore?
nah.
No.
So we get the explosive diarrhea, same kind of idea, but like people were so shocked, and then I absolutely loved when they start the theme song, and you think, oh God, it's gonna be the same again, and then they just cut, and I was like,
Yeah, it's
very
brilliant.
nice,
Brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Just
very
a little
nice.
bit of what you want, but not enough to
It
satisfy
was
you.
it was really, really, really well done. All of it. Every episode was great. I
Yeah.
mean, I the armor, the armor looked really
It
good.
was, wasn't it? The Targaryens were just fantastic, man. It was just, I
Man,
was like, it's
the
back, man.
Kingsguard
It's back.
too.
it's back. Like House of the Dragon is has been a fantastic show. Again, slightly different tone. Even than
Yeah, it's a
Thrones,
different
there's a
tone.
slightly different tone to it. It's been a brilliant show. It's doing fantastic, and it will keep doing. We're all looking out for the next season.
Yeah.
But the franchise is in good hands. It's in good hands. We're back to George's source material again,
Yes.
and I think that's what makes the difference. Do you know what I mean?
It
Like no
does.
disrespect to anybody,
No,
but that's what makes the
it
difference.
makes all the difference. It does. It makes absolutely all the difference because he has said these characters are his children. These are his
Absolutely.
kids. He doesn't have kids. It's these characters. He birthed these characters. Come on, man. Like it's literally a
Absolutely.
story. Like Daenerys is trying to scream and explain to people that the dragons are her children, and George is trying to scream and go, "These characters are my kids." Hello, he cares about them more than
Absolutely.
anybody. So obviously, if you have somebody that respects that, is amazed by that, and wants it to be really close to source material, that's why United Seven Kingdoms has
Yeah.
done so well. That's
And for anyone
why.
who's read Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the book, it is virtually word for word. Do you know what I
Yep.
mean? As they've been, they learned their lessons. Do you know what I mean? They learned their lessons with artistic license. Do you know what I mean? And like,
Yes.
do you know what? I do enjoy season 8. Like, yes, I know, I agree, but
There are
it's
parts of
there.
every season that are good.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all there. It's just it has its problems, but as I've said to a lot of people on the tours over the years, go like, how many times did you watch season 8? Once. Watch it again, man. Honestly, like all the issues are still there. Nothing's changed, but watch it again. The hurt has maybe subsided slightly, and on subsequent
Richard, I
watches,
love you. I don't know if I can, man. I'm way too deep into everyone else. Yeah, I will at some point. I will.
yeah, I know.
I might be 90.
I
It's just
like
I just
well,
think very emotional.
well,
So
look, they did your girl dirty, man. They did Daenerys dirty, didn't they, man? Like, look, we all agree on that. Like don't start me.
like,
Ah,
at some point I will. I like I watch clips of certain like episodes like Spoils of War. Give me a better dragon scene when you have like the Lannister army and Jamie's, you know, hey, we, we can take them. He's like,
yeah.
oh, can you? Huh? You think so, Jamie? Huh? Is that what you think? Like, and Braun's like cussing him out, like
Yeah.
you're not an infantryman. And then it's like, oh God, here comes that. Ooh, that's a damn good soundtrack. Oh, wow. There's the Dothraki. Oh shit, man.
Oops.
Oh my God, it's her, and there's Drogon. He's so big. Like, come on, man. Find
That
me a
was
better dragon scene. I'll wait.
fantastic. That
And
was
like,
fantastic.
it's like people ask me all the time to say Dracarys, and then people are like, "Why don't you roll your R?" Because Daenerys says it in the common tongue all but once. One time she
Absolutely.
rolls the R. And every single one is different. That Dracarys is like so. It's like deep in the chest,
Yeah.
and it's so angry, and so I am
Yeah.
sick of playing games and not using my
Yeah.
massive son with fire on these
Absolutely.
people. So how do you feel now? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your pride
Absolutely.
now, Lannister? And like, it's just, and I'm like, oh, I love it. Give me more of that. Burn them all. I love it. Just do it. Like, look, season 8 has wonderful, absolutely beautiful, epic scenes. Every season does.
It's a
Every
great
single
story,
one.
season 8. It's not the one we wanted.
No,
I've
but
joked
some
in
of
the
it was
past that
good.
if someone went in with AI and changed all the faces in season 8 and changed all the names of everything, you could watch it again and go, do you know what? That's quite good. But the fact it wasn't, look, again, I could go down a rabbit hole with the season 8 thing. Like,
What?
let it go, Richard. Let it
People,
go. Let it go.
you think I'm going to tell you to let it go? Do you know how often I talk about how it
Oh,
doesn't make sense? Do you know, like, how many, thanks, y'all. Do you know how many times I've had long hour, 2, 3 hour conversations about things like why, like things like this that'll never leave me? Okay, Cersei's got Missandei. Where's Drogon?
yeah. There was too many, man. There was too many. But look,
Funny enough, this is the outfit that Daenerys has on when Missandei gets her head cut off.
that's right, it is.
Where's Drogon? I did. You know, Daenerys loves her best friend. She's up there. Like, it'd be probably really great if Drogon could like come out of nowhere and just burn
At this
Cersei.
point,
But he's nowhere to be found. I guess he was hungry or taking a nap. I don't know. But like, it's stuff like that. Like, that's never going to stop. I mean, that's always going to be a conversation. But like, at the same time, I'll be honest with you. I have a hard time with House of the Dragon. Especially with the information that we have now about how George was allegedly treated. I tend to care more for the seasons or the show where he's very involved and has a say. That I just do. Like, do I support I support anything in this fandom that makes sense and is respectful to him. So
yeah.
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was very, very uplifting to me. And it to me, I think it is, like you said, it's a shift, and it's a damn good shift.
It's
Because
worked, it's landed,
yes, it
I think
did.
it's
Like,
brilliant.
I
I think
mean,
it's
and the
brilliant.
numbers show that. The ratings show that. You know what? You may not know this, and this is really funny. Did you hear about the drama between the Breaking Bad fans and the Game of Thrones slash
Yes,
Night of the
well,
Seven?
the whole voting and upvoting thing is
Oh my God!
it's a mark of success, I think, to be honest with you, to be hated
It
that
is,
much.
but they underestimated us.
Didn't
They
it just?
underestimated. We taped their episodes. We taped them. They thought they were going to come for us. Oh no! Oh no! 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 They woke
Don't
the
mess with the people that
dragon.
believe in magic. Do you know what I mean? We
They
can
woke the
conjure
dragon.
juju,
Did I participate? Hell yeah, I did.
yeah.
I went in every single one and gave it a 1 out of 5. Every single one. We didn't start that. We didn't
Don't
start
fuck with the
it.
big guys,
Man, like, really? You think so? How do you like it now? Hey, where's your 10 out of 10? Doesn't exist anymore, does it? Yeah, sucks for you.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to give you a wee theory of mine. Now, this is just me. There's no real grounding in this other than a few observations. But part of the what happened with season 8, the thing, the what happened with season, the whole question of that. One of the answers I have to from my side of it, of the people that were working there was a collective exhaustion in everybody involved in it. And there's a couple of bits in. Have you ever seen The Last Watch, the wee documentary they did of the filming of season 8?
Mhm.
The guy in that, Andy the extra, it was Andy that was the one. He got me into doing this job in the
Oh
tours.
my
So
God.
Andy's a great friend of mine. He's a really good friend of mine.
Oh, that's
But
so
there's a couple of
cool.
clips. There's one clip in particular in that where Amelia is in the hairstylist chair, and the hairstylist is putting on the big platinum wig, and the girl has the comb backwards, and she's poking and doing all that stuff, and
Mhm.
the stylist is saying, I think it's the last scene that she's doing
Yeah.
the scene with John,
Are you talking
and
about
she's
the one
poking
where
at
it's
the
the
wig,
last
and
time she's putting the wig on?
that's it, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And the girl says to her, it's like, "Oh, I've just been holding this together,"
Yep.
and Amelia says to her, because Amelia's the one who could say, she said something along the lines of, "It's terribly sad that it's all finishing, but are you not a little bit glad that it's finished?" And the girl jumps back and she says, "Oh, I know what you mean. I couldn't say that, but I know what you mean." And then there's another bit in that when they talk to the jellies, as we call them, the wee fake scars. We call them jellies because they're just a wee sort of jelly thing. The young English couple that runs out, it's a round faced lady with wee glasses, and she's in tears, like, because it's all ending and stuff, and she's saying, like, we all put so much into this. Like, her and her husband, she's like, we've missed our kids' first days at school, their Christmas nativity play, their teacher meetings, their this, their this, their this, their this, their this. We have put so much into this. And as I said earlier, whenever the show came back, they would hire the same people every year, and people would go back every year. And whenever we were working on it, well, whenever the crew were working on it, it's 3 to 6 months of the year. They're away from home, where our days on set are 12-hour filming days, but the 12-hour filming days has 4 hours of preparation before it and 2 hours of taking everything down after it. So like it's
Yeah.
20-hour days you're putting in 5 days a week, you know, for a long, long period of time on end. So everybody involved here put so much into it. It was just we were broken. We were literally broken. You know, just like this is a bit of a funny aside. There's a seriousness to this as well. But
Mhm.
I know three people whose long-term relationships broke down because of Game of Thrones. Because
No.
whenever any of the partners, any of the two people in the relationship, whenever they were involved in it, anything you did in the home, you didn't do anymore. You don't take the garbage out. You're not walking the dog. You're not taking the kids to school. You're not doing this.
Yep.
You're not doing anything. And so many people, you know, the text came through. It's Game of Thrones time, and there's their poor partner with a baby on their hip and a toddler at their ankles, going,
Yeah.
"Fucking really, mate? You're going to go and play dress up with your buddies again? Are you fucking serious?"
Yep.
And several people went, "It's me or Game of Thrones," and the answer was, "Du, du, 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 du." Now there was obviously problems going on. Do you know what I mean? But
Yes. I
you
mean,
know, it took its toll.
all in
It took its
common.
toll. You know, it
Well,
took its toll.
and to go along with that, when you see the last scene of Jon Snow, like that pain and
He's in
exhaustion,
bit.
that's kid
He's in
too.
bit. Yeah, absolutely. And that was. I guarantee you that was him holding the tears back. I guarantee you in the
Yes.
dressing room before or after that, he was
You can
bawling
see
his
the
eyes out.
scene, man. Like his
Absolutely.
face is literally puffy. Like it looks like he's already cried. Like,
Mhm.
yes, that's John, but you can see kid, like just
Mhm. And
emotionally exhausted.
he gives so much to that role, man. Like I
Yeah.
have seen that man elated. I've seen him energized. I've also seen him browbeaten and emotionally drained, just with just the pressure of it. But the professionalism of the man, like I remember a few times, and he was just like he could hardly hold his head up. He was that exhausted. But as soon as you hear rolling, bam, Jon Snow standing in front of you. It's a fantastic thing to watch, man. It's. I'm not an actor, so when I see them doing that, Ewan Rion's the same. He played Ramsay. He could go. A lot of them would prepare and get themselves into character and stuff. Ewan could just snap it like a switch. He would be like, this nice. He's really quiet, softly spoken dude, and he'd be like, yeah, dead on. How's things going? Oh, blah blah blah. And then we'd be okay, rolling. Boom. Ramsey appears on right in front of you. You're like, fucking hell, man, that's impressive.
Oh,
He
see,
would literally
that
metamorphose.
amazes me. That
It
is
was it was
fascinating to me. I don't know how they do it.
it's a mad thing to see.
I mean, and like you're not just snapping into like a regular character. You
Mhm.
are like you're pretty evil. That is
Yeah,
evil. You're an evil man. And like he's a nice guy, like you said. And so it's just like
he's
it's
a
like,
lovely
how
dude.
do they
He's a
do
lovely
it?
dude.
How the
I
hell do
do
they
laugh at the first professional job that Ewan had after he played Ramsay Bolton was playing the German or the Austrian painter, not to mention his name. But the quote was, when you've gone from being the most evil man in fiction, you have to play the most evil man in history.
pretty much. Pretty much. And
He
he's
played it
also
well
in the
too.
band,
Really
which
fast.
I didn't even know for the longest time that he's in a band.
He's
And I'm
quite a
like,
good musician. Yeah.
yes.
I was
I
chatting to
saw
him
him
about
on
it at the time because me being a musician, we're like swapping SoundCloud files and stuff. And he's quite a good musician. He's really very that nice sort of folky singer songwriter type thing. He's
yeah.
very good, man. I like his
I
music.
didn't have any idea until
Yeah.
I saw him on TikTok and I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's like
it's just incredible. And like,
Mm.
there's so much like, and again, like it's like a compulsion. Like, I also have this thing because so many of the cast of Game of Thrones are attached to so much other stuff because they're so talented. Like, there'll be somebody talking about watching John Wick, and me who's like really annoyed. I should make a meme out of this because I'm like, yeah, the guy that like killed his dog. Yeah, that was Theon Greyjoy. And it's
Well, he
like,
gets his comeuppance, doesn't he?
but like I can't help myself, man. Like it's just like, does anyone need to know that? Probably not. But like I'm just like, hey, did you know? Like it is what it is. Okay, like I can't help it anymore, and I'm sure people are just used to it. But yeah, that was Theon. Yeah,
Alfie's done well too. Alfie's done well for himself. I like him.
great.
He's a good lad.
He's
He's a good
great.
lad.
Like I think he stayed busy. Pretty much everybody has. God, and then Jacob, Interview with the Vampire. Oh,
Yeah.
He's doing such a good job. His accent. Okay, let me tell you this. That is a straight up dude from the UK that has managed to be in a series where he's got an old accent from Louisiana. That's not
Yeah,
easy. And that's very
very
near where
specific.
I am. And it's good. It's a good accent. I'm so proud of him on that. He's doing a hell of a job. Like,
We do get the Brits do get a bad rap for their American accents from time to time, don't they? So
well, this
we
is
tend to fall into a generic Midwest thing or something, you
that's
know.
fine, and that's fine. The Southern accent is not easy, as people love to point out that I have such a Southern accent. I'm like, that's why it's in my name, man. Look, I'm not trying to confuse
Absolutely.
anybody.
That's
God,
quite
that,
right.
but like, it's not an easy accent to learn. It changes like really quick. Like if you're in the far south, like you can travel 3 hours up and it's different. But like he's
Yeah,
managed to do it really, really well, and it's really impressive. I mean,
very
like
good, man.
most most every single member of the cast, like they've gone on to do really incredible stuff. And the thing is, like, I think Game of Thrones gave them the ability they can pick and choose what they do, which
Absolutely,
I love that too,
absolutely.
very much.
And it's like I see their frustrations as well, you know, back in the later seasons, because you know, the idea of being an actor is that you pretend to be other people,
Mhm.
plural, you know, not singular. You know,
Right.
so it is difficult for an actor when they've done even characters as fantastic as they had. You know what I mean? I suppose it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
double-edged sword because I can remember there was one interview with Kit. I think it was in the States. I think was it Conan he was with. I can't remember. But he was just, it was obviously in the point where he was getting a wee bit sort of feeling the weight of things. He's like, look, man, I just want to do something where I can cut my hair short and I'm not surrounded by dirty, smelly hippies the whole time. And we were like, hey, buddy, I resemble that remark, but I get what he means. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I get what he means, you know.
Well, because
Everyone was all angry about that here, but
well,
no,
like people
that's
were very obsessed knowing if he was going to come back to life, man. Like, and the one thing was he kept putting his hair in that ponytail, and everybody's like, "Wait a minute,
yeah.
you're not cutting your hair, you're coming back." And like, poor thing
Yeah.
was asked so many times. Like, I'm asked like the same questions over and over again, and like I'm just here. Like, I can't imagine how many times they've been asked the same thing
Right.
over and over and over. And God bless them for being as kind as they are, because they do Comic Cons and stuff. And like, I just have to say, I would love to meet Amelia. If I ever do, I'm probably just gonna say, hey, I'm not gonna ask you about season 8.
Yeah.
And like that's probably going to be the intro. Like seriously,
Yeah.
because I just know that she's
It's just
alive.
like they wouldn't show you, but they would die inside. They'd be like, oh, fuck that question again. Like, you know, like I do 120 Game of Thrones tours a year. Like I get questions all the time, and there's, you know, there's, I suppose there'd be some questions I'd be, you know, less keen on answering all the time. Do you know what I mean? But like nothing would
Yeah,
upset me, so to speak. But yeah, but there is times like, no, 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 there's better questions to ask, you know.
I
But
I
yes, I
really
do
like
hear
it
the
when
same thing.
people like a lot of times they blur reality with fiction, and probably about 1,000 times someone has come in my chat and said, "Why did you do that to King's Landing?" So much. Richard, I have a fucking shirt. I have a shirt made that says "Ask me about King's Landing," because it's like no, like my friends in the chat will tell you I have been cussed out multiple times
So
by
many times.
people telling me I killed children, I burned them to death. Why did you do it?
NPCs are
I'm the
weird,
Mad
man. You know.
Queen. You horrible person. There you go. Yep, there's your answers. And like I just sit here like this. And you know what I just say now? It was necessary.
Yeah. You can't make an omelet without breaking eggs.
And some of the eggs were small. I mean, it is what it is. You
Oh,
would have
look,
burned
yeah,
them
look,
too. And then, of course, it
we,
depends on if I'm a playful. If I'm playful, I'm like, winter was coming. It was cold. I was trying to warm everybody up.
oh, look, that scene does stick in everybody's throat, I must admit. Let's see, you know, like, yeah. Yeah. Daenerys'
Like,
descent into madness was handled by her just dropping her eyebrow. It's like, really? Oh, look,
There you go.
we could go on with it, you know.
I'll say this: I go to Comic Cons and I go to Ren fairs, and I love it. I love it so much, and events. And I'll say this: nobody asked me that in person. What I get in person is, oh my god, I love the character. Oh my god, I'm so happy you're here. And then now
That's
they'll
cool.
they'll say like, I didn't like what they did with her character, and then they want to talk about it, and I love that. I do. I love it. Some of them get emotional or whatever, but because of that show, I get to go places and talk to people about my favorite character, and in my own tiny little way, make them feel slightly better because I remind them that she's alive in the books, and it's fine. And then I also remind them that Drogon was flying east with her, and they're very happy. Like they come up and they look concerned, and then when they walk away, they're at least a little better. And I'm glad I get to do that. Like I mean, I didn't know this was going to happen to me. I'm appreciative of it, and I love that people get excited still, which is probably like a small portion of what you do when people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm standing in the same place." It's like my favorite character.
Yeah, it hits me every day, honestly. Like I say, I've done uh, roughly 1,000 tours over the 10 years, with about 60% of them on the North route, the Iron Islands route, and the rest on the Winterfell route. And it still hits me the same every day, even though like people ask me, like, is your job not like Groundhog Day? Does it not just go like round and round and round? And it really doesn't. We're on the same route, but it's the people that make it different every day. And honestly, like every day arriving at Aya's Steps in Bravos, Melisandre's Cave, Ballantoy Harbour, the Iron Islands, and every day when I see people going like, "Oh my God, that's actually it." It's like, well, did you think I was fucking lying? Like, but I see the effect it has on people every day, and like, I'll be looking at the scene, looking at them, looking at the scene, looking at them, going, "Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. This is
I
pretty
mean,
cool."
that's like
Take
a
people these
freaking
places.
dream job, man. Like seriously, like
It is pretty. It is pretty.
okay,
It
like
is
what you
absolutely
do.
nice work if you can get
Basically, Richard, you're our Disney World. That's what you are.
it.
Like that's the closest thing for us. Like really, like you're our
It
Disney.
is.
That's our Disney World. That's it.
And
I
definitely,
mean,
like the US is a massive part of my market. Like they're a huge part of the tourism in Ireland in general. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of you guys, and a lot of you have connections to Ireland, and it's the first stop across the Atlantic as well. So we get a huge amount of US tourists, and they're all very, very welcome. But on the private tours, it's about 90% US customers I get. It's quite a lot. And it's good, man. It's good to have to feed off that, man. It's nice. It's a nice thing.
I mean,
It's a nice thing.
it's huge still here. I mean, we love it. I mean, that's the number one thing for a whole lot of people. I mean, people forget how crazy people are still about it. And then you have a Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it's like, oh well, yeah, we were still here. We're still here. And I
And a
will
whole
say
new
this:
generation's coming in.
every single person I've spoken to that has gone to Ireland has nothing but very kind things to say about the people there, and that's nice too because that's not always the case for us.
Like you're good people. I've been very blessed that I've met 10,000 plus US citizens doing the job that I do. And yes, there's a lot of filters before I meet them, but you're a good people. You're just going through some stuff.
We're
It'll
always going
pass.
through
It'll pass.
something.
It'll
Eh,
pass.
it's
It'll pass.
fine.
But
But it is
that's
nice
why we watch
when
Game of
people are
Thrones.
nice to us because we're kind of used to people not liking us, so we're
Ah,
kind of
that's
tired.
that's a misconception. That's just don't listen to social media, man. That's a misconception. Like
I
if
don't
any
know.
of your listeners or
Mm,
friends visit Ireland, that
no,
stuff won't be
Ireland's
mentioned,
great.
man. Honestly, it'll be where are you from, what's your story, what brings you to Ireland. You're very welcome. That's like
Oh,
that's how
that's
it
all
is,
I've
and
ever heard ever from
you
anybody
know,
that's done your tour and a studio tour, like nice
oh, it's brilliant.
as possible. Like everybody has
I'm
always
so
been
glad
glowing.
we're a nice people here. We're very. There's only 1.6 million people that live in Northern Ireland. There's only 8.8 million people that live on the whole island of Ireland. So like, there's not many of us. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole
Yeah,
population of this island is like a third of New York or something. There's not many of us. So
that's
um,
cool.
it's all fake. It's all falseness because there's so few of us. You have to be nice because you never fucking know how anybody is. It could be a friend of your granny and you'll get shouted at. Do you know what I mean? So there's a
Yeah,
lot of that
that's
as
a good
well.
point. It's kind
We're
of like
very
how you
local. We're
feel.
very local.
Yeah,
But
no,
we
I
are.
get
I
that.
do. I do get that we are a bit of a bit of a live Ren fair. Like we don't do the Ren fair thing here at all. Um,
Because you are a
Basically,
Ren
'cause,
fair. Why would you have to do it?
yeah,
Like we have to fake it
pretty
over here.
pretty much, man, pretty much. Like there's like what have I gotten? There's like you don't have to go more than 10 miles before you find some form of castle. Do you know what I mean? There's
So
like
we
there's
have
a
to make wooden ones here. We got to do the Ren fair. What are we gonna do? We don't have
there's a
anything old enough. Do you know?
there's
Do
a
you know how
wall
happy
there's a
I'd
wall in
be
my
if there was a fucking castle within, I don't know, 3 hours of me? Do you know how fun that would be for me? There's no
one
castle. We don't have
one of the
anything old
funniest
enough.
one of the funniest comments I saw on it was one of my Castle Ward videos of Winterfell was somebody going, "Yeah, in the US we just keep forgetting that Europeans can just visit castles."
Like the closest thing I can get is like one of those kid bouncy houses that looks like a castle that you blow up. Like there is no castle. No. I mean, we got some old wood buildings that look like they're falling down, but that doesn't really give Europe at all.
Yeah, it's like come and see the plantation house from 1834. It's like, dude, I've got socks older than that, man. I can
Also, the background story is really depressing.
well, of
No,
course, yes.
hell no, no, God no. But I mean, like, would I like to do a photo shoot at Yes, I'd love to do a photo shoot at Castle. There's just not one. We don't have one. I mean, like, there's just we don't have anything old. No, and if it's
We forget about it here,
old,
man.
it's
We forget about it.
but
Like in Shabby, where Rob was proclaimed King of the North. That was
yes,
built in 1180. It's 900 years old.
we can't even
Dundas
understand that.
Castle, it's 900 years old. That's the one to stop at. It's Harrenhal and Pike. There's loads of castles. Like there's a couple of castles we drive past in the morning, and I'm too much in my thing. And they go, what is that? Is that? Is that? So, like, don't worry about that. We'll get better castles. Just ignore that one. Ignore
That
that
would
one.
be
So
me.
you skip
I would
past them.
literally, honestly, I'd be like Egret. Like, I'd be like, is that a castle? And you'd be like,
It's like, no, that's the council offices.
that's, you know what? I should make a meme of that too, because that's how I feel. Like, because John's like, you think that's a castle? Well, yeah. Is it not? And that's literally every American. Like, we don't know. But like, but
We forget
still
we are.
know that you guys have a lot of clout because you know what we do over here. Over here, we do ancestry or whatever, and we get our DNA.
Yeah.
And like, I'm part like I don't know 30% Irish or whatever, and then we feel like, hey, and then we feel cool about that. My friend Cobalt is in the chat. He's Irish too, which he's reminded me of several times, and I think he even put it in the chat. But we are happy when we get that, and like we can say, "Hey, look what I am," because there's nothing old here. We have to like manufacture it or figure out our DNA. I don't
That's what
know.
they say. One of the things that separates us and you guys is to us 100 miles is a long distance. To you guys, 100 years is a long time.
Well, that's a long time, and
You know,
like you don't want to go back a
Belfast and
hundred
Dublin.
years.
Belfast and no, well, Belfast and Dublin are just over 100 miles apart, but it's still treated as like this. You're going to fucking Dublin, man? Like, really? It's like this mad journey that you're going off into some never land. Do you know what I mean?
And
Like,
it's
and
not.
then
That's
while
what's
you're
so
doing that, you're passing
insane.
things that are 1,000 years old. It's like, yeah, whatever. So it's
Everything's
all
close
perspective.
together and everything's well, I mean, there's like stories all the time about somebody repaving a parking lot and finding like a lost king or something. And
That's
I'm
right.
like,
Yeah, that's right.
if you like there's nothing under I mean, there's dirt and clay. Like we don't have anything under the parking lot like that. We just don't. There's nothing. Nothing at all. Damn sure not here. I mean, there's a lot of cows.
Yeah, like
Yeah, there's
there's
a lot of that.
I know I know a lot of the ancient stuff in the States, it got lost. I think some like 90% of ancient things
Yeah,
in
we burned
America
it
were lost.
down. We ruined it.
People didn't understand. People. I don't think it was even here. Like all the reason all the castles are in ruins. You've maybe heard this. The reason all castles in ruins. It's not because of age. It's not because of the weather. It's because of people. Because once you pile stones up, they don't go anywhere. They don't change. The reason castles are in ruins as they are is that for a couple of hundred years after they got abandoned, if somebody needed to build a wall, a cow shed, a house, and they needed building materials, it was like, yeah, sure, there's that old pile of rocks that those people left. And so it wasn't seen as stealing. It was actually seen as medieval recycling. It
Yeah.
was at that time, it was the logical thing to do. It wasn't until the late 1700s, the early 1800s, that people started going, fuck, maybe this stuff's actually important. So because the discovery and building in the States was in that before period, there wasn't really I just don't think there was really the perspective that old things mattered. It was a
Right.
little bit, and by that time it was too late. Do you know what I mean? By the mid 1800s, it was a lot of it was gone, unfortunately, for various different reasons. Which is a shame, man. Because it's a shame because like the Vikings hit North America. Do you know what I mean? The Vikings were there in like, was it 1400 or something, long before the Spanish were even anywhere near you.
That's another
So
damn good show, is Vikings. I really liked
Vi-
Vikings very much.
Vikings. There's a big connection between Vikings and Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was shot just outside Belfast. Vikings was shot just outside Dublin. So quite a lot of the extras that worked on either show would work on both shows. In fact, by season 6, when we were doing Battle of the Bastards, the two productions communicated so that they could link up their shooting schedules because they were using the same bloody extras. And in
Oh
fact,
my
the same
god.
year there was a sort of a Victorian thing done. Sean Bean was in it actually, called the Frankenstein Chronicles, and it was like a slightly different telling of the
Yep.
Frankenstein story.
hmm
And when a lot of us worked on that as well, and we're all laughing like the year after when everything released. I think it was like Monday night we were all there as Wildlings in Game of Thrones. Tuesday night when Vikings aired, there we all were as Vikings. And then I think it was Thursday that Frankenstein Chronicles come out, and there we all are with like wax mustaches and Victorian suits. It's like
That's a
the
good
Irish
dream.
mafia, extra mafia. Do you know what I mean? We're just in everything.
Ah, that would
So
be a dream. Well,
I didn't do Vikings though. I didn't do it.
Catherine Winnick that played Lagatha in Vikings. It
Yeah,
was a huge push for her to play Visenya in the Conquest. Huge, obsessive push. The character's very similar. I don't know if it'll happen, but that is a
yeah,
huge,
that would be a
huge.
scoop.
I, you know, At first, I was kind of
That
like,
would be massive.
but I'll tell you this. With House of the Dragon, you got Matt Smith, who's incredibly damn talented.
Yeah,
And then with Game of Thrones, you got Sean Bean. You got the anchor actor.
yeah.
I got to thinking about it. Having her be that might just
That
be,
could be powerful. That
yeah.
could be. I never heard of that actually. That would be powerful actually. That would. I hope that yeah, that would be good. I would enjoy seeing that.
There might be something. I mean, I'm sure she'd be expensive, but I mean, they can probably afford it. And
They
she
can
do a
afford it.
hell of a job. Hell
They
of a
can afford it.
job.
Don't worry.
But if they do
That would
that,
be
I'd
good.
like the others to be unknown because I like it when it's the unknowns because then you just kind of lose yourself in it. But
That
people
was
have
one
been
of the funny
talking.
things happened when season 1 of Thrones was airing. In the UK, Sean Bean is a massive name to us over here. Do you know, right? Like, I know he has that. Sean has that reputation that he's the guy that goes to Hollywood and dies and everything. But to see for us, he's the guy that goes to fucking Hollywood and dies and stuff. That's a big gig. Do you know what I
Yep,
mean? That's a big
yep.
gig. So
I mean, he's
whenever
been in
season 1
so
of Thrones,
much. Let's see.
I,
He was at
tons, but when season 1 of Thrones came out, everybody here in the UK who wasn't aware of the books that much were like, "What's this? Another medieval thing? Like, do we really need another one? Oh, and who are these people? Who are these actors? I don't know anyone in it. Oh, wait, there's Sean. Oh,
yep,
Sean's going to carry it. Don't worry, this is Sean's show. He's the star." And then at the end of the first season, when the sword was going to come down,
yeah.
all the people here who weren't aware of the books were like, "Ah, you fucked it now, man. You're about to kill the only actor that was in the whole damn thing." And all the book readers were like, "Oh, my sweet summer child, we need to get rid of Ned Stark so we can get on with the story." Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought
Yep.
it was hilarious when it was happening. I remember at the time it was happening. Everyone's going like, "You can't kill the only famous person in the whole thing." It's like, look, you don't get it yet, man. You don't get it yet.
Yeah, you've never read George if you think that the character that seems like they're gonna stick around is gonna die.
Nobody's
You
safe.
just don't understand. You just don't.
Nobody's safe. You know, nobody's safe. And that's the good. That's the beauty of Throne. It was getting closer and closer to real life. Like here's a good one actually. One of the locations we stop at on the Winterfell route is the
Mhm.
hanging tree, as we call it, with the when Brienne and Jaime are together, and they
Yeah.
find the three girls hanging from the tree.
Hmm.
That to me, that I have a great story about that one. And the majority of stories and fantasy that we read, you have the good guys and the bad guys. Good guys do good things, bad guys do things, and never the twain meet. In that shot, those three girls have been brutalized and murdered in the worst possible way by the Stark men, who are meant to be the good people, you know. And then,
Yeah.
do you remember in season 8, there was the clip of Ed Sheeran, the red haired English singer, and he was one of the
Yes.
Lannister guards, and
Yes.
they're all singing. And they bring Aya in and they look after her, they send her away
Yep.
unharmed. And one of the lads is talking, "Oh, I miss my farm, I miss my dog."
Yep.
And they're meant to be the stormtroopers, they're meant to be the evil guy, but here they are being just normal. And that's what humanity's like.
Yes.
There is no black and white, it's all varying degrees of grey. And
Hmm.
people are evil one day and good the next, you know. And like the writers of Rohan don't rape and murder people. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, so
Uh,
whenever the Starks do and stuff like that, it's like it totally upset what fantasy normally does. It's why George is such a genius writer.
yes.
He knows the human condition. You know, he knows that we are varying shades of grey. You
And,
know,
and that's not something that was really shown a lot until Game of Thrones. And now you see that more. Like
absolutely. It's given
it,
writers the freedom to do it.
which it makes it so much more realistic and you get sucked in because like, yes, I love Lord of the Rings very much. I mean, my
Me
God.
too.
But
I
like,
read Lord of the Rings when I was like 10.
I was pretty close to that. My mom loves fantasy, so I'm very lucky. Like I was like steered in sci-fi and fantasy, but like
Same,
you got Game of Thrones and like and there's bad people and there's bad people that do bad things. There's good people that do bad things and there's
yeah.
bad people that do good things.
Like
And
the Hound.
so I mean it's very interesting. I mean you could I mean hell Jamie Lannister, Jamie fucking Lannister. Look at
Just
him.
that name just popped in my tongue as well, Jamie Lannister. And I love the scene. I love Jamie's scene. There were two scenes actually. The one where he's in the bath with Brienne, you know,
Yes.
and he's starting to come out to her. And then there's the one with Qyburn as well. But remember, Qyburn's trying to sort of take the piss out of him a wee bit, and he's like,
Yeah.
"How many men have you killed, Kingslayer? 5, 10, 50, countless. How many lives have you saved? 500,000. You know, fucking beat that, buddy. 500,000. So,
Yep.
what was it? One of the best quotes I heard about Jamie Lannister was, "He wasn't the bad guy we thought he was. He just didn't fucking care that we thought that way." Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? I like that.
I
Jamie
love
was a
that.
good guy. Weird love interest, of course, you know, but you know, he was a good guy. He just was caught up in what he needed to be, you know, and he
Yes.
needed to be the Kingslayer, you know,
But
and
the
he needed to
thing
be
is,
that
like,
guy.
people like they forget, like he's called, Kingslayer, Kingslayer, Kingslayer. And then if you read the books, you get more of this. But like, it's like he's shit on so hard, and
Yeah,
he'll think every once in a while, "Do you know how many people I saved when I
yeah,
killed Ares? Does anybody know?" Like, it's that. It's like Jesus Christ, because people that are show only, this is why I want people so much to read or listen to the audiobooks. Like when Jamie became Kingsguard, when he was knighted, he was looking at these guys like they were just complete icons. He wanted to be the perfect knight. He wanted to speak up for those that couldn't speak and do all the things. And
yeah.
over time, he was taught, "Oh yeah, we don't really do that," or
That's
we do that
not the way it
some."
works. Yeah,
Eh,
that's not the way it works.
and like, and it ties in to the Night of the Seven Kingdoms with Dunk. Because Dunk
Absolutely.
hasn't really been knighted. But what is Dunk? He's what you think of when you think of a knight, a real knight.
Honor, chivalry, strength. Absolutely.
And
You
like
know.
it's George is such a good writer. He's such a good writer. Like there's just so much. Like we could talk for like straight for 2 weeks and still have plenty of things to talk about. We could go
Oh
per
God.
character. It's
Yeah.
insane. I actually stick up for Jamie a lot because a lot of people
Me too.
I think don't fully
Me too.
understand.
A lot of people were very angry with Jamie's end. I personally had no problem with Jamie's end. Now, I had a problem with the story being what it was, but she was always his kryptonite. He was
Yes.
always going to go back to his illogical addiction. That was, yes, he should have married Brienne and they should have had beautiful babies. Of course they should have done, but they didn't because it's Game of fucking Thrones. That's what Jamie Lannister was. She was his illogical addiction. He was
Yes.
always going to go back to her.
And
Um,
Tywin was still a voice in his head.
Absolutely,
And he
absolutely.
knew there's no way in hell Tywin would have approved of Brienne of Tarth. There's no way.
No, no,
So, and
no.
people forget about that. Tywin is
So he's
still
an
in his
interesting
head.
character. He was an interesting character, an
Very.
interesting character. And
Yeah.
that scene in the season 8 where he sees Bran for the first time, like that was powerful. That was powerful, wasn't it? It's like he was just sort of facing his old self, I think, a wee
That
bit.
was
It's like, fuck, I did
insane.
that, man. Look what I did. I crippled a child. Jesus Christ. You can see that really as, so I had no problem with Jamie's journey.
Like the look on his face, no words of, and like you could tell the flashback is happening in his head, and he's like,
Yeah.
and he's not
And
that
Bran just gives
person
the.
anymore. He's so different from how he was, and like he can't even imagine doing that. But that happened. Like see, there's lots of scenes from the last season that are really good. There's a lot. It's just that people are very emotionally attached, so that tends to kind of be the thing that they talk about. Which I mean, I can't say anything. I do it all the time, all the time. Look, I scroll TikTok and I'll see edits, and there's specific ones, and I still tear up. I tear up at least twice a week because it just comes up on my FYP, and I'm like, oh yeah, there
Yeah.
goes Viserion.
Yeah.
And then I have to like keep scrolling and find something funny because I cried over that CGI dragon for so long. Like Jesus Christ, man, like a lunatic. It
I have a
was
funny story about that, actually. I have a funny story about that. Whenever I was doing the body double work, the stand-in stuff for Torment,
mhm.
that actually for well, we get fed every day as extras. They actually feed you quite a lot of food. It's
That's
not
nice.
very good, but you can eat a lot. In fact, the menu option for the extras was meat or veggie. That was your option. I usually went for the veggie because you didn't really know what the meat was. It could be horse or rat. You don't know. But whenever I did the body double work, that upgraded me to what they call crew food. Now, crew
Oh,
food are the magic 2 words for an extra. They're the magic 2 words. We couldn't identify really what we were eating as extras, but when you went to the crew tent, they would have a table with like 6 different salads. They had a menu of there was one day there was beef, there was pork, there was chicken, there was venison, fucking
wow.
venison. Like we were eating scraps and they're eating game. But whenever I did the body double stuff,
Uh-huh.
I missed the lunch for the extras, so that sent me to the crew tent. But I could get my lunch there, but I could not eat my lunch inside the crew tent. I'm only an extra. In that tent, there needed to be a space where conversations could happen that my
Mhm.
ears can't hear. That
Right,
there's
right.
actors sitting there, there's crew sitting there, there's writers sitting there, there's producers sitting there. They need to be able to talk about things I can't hear. Anyway, I was queuing up and I was getting some footing. I was getting some pork and some applesauce and bits, something really nice. And the stunt guys were all sitting on a big table
Mhm.
behind me. And whether I was in costume, so maybe they thought it was Chris, maybe they thought it was Tormund. They just saw the red and the Wildling
Sure.
costume. But
Yeah.
this was us filming Battle of the Bastards, by the way. This was us filming season 6 of Battle of the Bastards
Mhm.
in winter 2015. And as I was getting my food, the stunties were chatting behind me, and one of them said, "Yeah, I hear they're planning to kill one of the dragons next season." And I just turned, like, this is us filming six. Like, we had no idea with this. I just turned and looked at him, and he realized that I was an extra and not an actor. And he just sort of looked at me, and I went, "Don't worry, buddy. I'll not say a word. Like, I'll not say
Oh
a word."
God.
I had to
Oh.
keep that secret by myself. Like, we kept our on-set secrets, as a group from the shots we did. I had to then walk around with the rest of Game of Thrones fandom and go, "I know something pretty fucking big, and I can't even tell my friends." And I didn't
Dude,
tell
you're
anybody.
the
I didn't
master
tell
of
anybody.
whispers. You are.
I was the only civilian that knew that piece of information for
Oh my God. Oh
about
my
four.
God. There's like,
That would have been 18 months before it
wow.
was on screen. That was a
Dude,
year and a half before it was on screen. So, and I had to go,
dude,
"You
I
fucking
would have
what?"
migraines. I'm sure. Like,
You've
oh
so
my
many, man.
God,
You get
how you
so
did
many.
that.
Like, but when we started filming six as well, after the end of five, there was a whole like Jon Snow, is he dead? Is he not dead? What happened? Did they kill him? All that sort of stuff. Did the traitors kill him? And then whenever we started shooting six, like that was the big question. And then photos came out. Someone got photographs of Kit coming through Belfast Airport, and the media went in a
I
frenzy, going,
remember
"Look, he's
that.
back! Yeah, he's back!" And people were like messaging me and phoning me because they knew I was shooting again. And they go, "Well, what's this? Is he alive or not?" And I would say, "Do you want me to tell you?" And they go, "No, fuck! Don't tell me! Don't tell me! Don't tell me!" But what I used to do, I used to tease people. I used to wind people up. And when they say, like, "Yeah, like Richard, we've seen him. He's in Belfast. He must be alive." And I would just say to them, "Did you see the funeral?" They go, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, do you not think the Lord Commander's going to get a funeral? That's what we're filming. We're filming his funeral." And they go,
Damn.
"Oh,
Wow.
fuck. So he is dead then?" It's like, "Do you want me to tell you?" It's like, "No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me."
Oh
But I
my
used to give out this
God.
information.
People were
It's quite a
upset.
power.
They were absolutely like I remember that when he came to set, it was like when you go like through our grocery store, there's like magazines and it was on
Yeah,
every magazine.
yeah,
People trying to figure out like and then you would read it and it said he visited the set, but like he wasn't in costume or anything. And people are just like, oh my God.
yeah.
Oh my maybe he's just seeing friends and stuff. And they I mean, people were obsessed. There's the story. He got out of a ticket because he told the cop.
The
He got
speeding
pulled
ticket, that's
over.
right. Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
that.
That's how he got out of a speeding ticket. He was like, you want to know?
And he's confirmed it too. So,
I mean, if I was the cop, I would have done the same thing. We wanted to
absolutely,
know. Are you
absolutely.
dead? Are you coming back? But I mean, like,
He
it
was under
was that big
he
of a
was under mega
deal.
security during the bastard shit because of that. They actually had one of our less than favourable newspapers that we have in the UK. They're scumbags. They actually had this little biplane, this little airplane that they had
Yeah.
cameras on it, and they would fly over the set to try and get photographs. And it had the newspaper name on the bottom of it, so you knew it was them. But anytime the plane would arrive, they had people ready. They would literally pull off their coats and throw you. What we had to do as well, if you were near an actor, the actor would just drop to the ground, and we all just sort of huddle around them. So these cameras can't get any. They did get a few. They did. There was a few that got. There was one where Kit's standing there with his King of the North hair, the wee ponytail, and he's talking to Miguel. So there was one wee shot of it, but the most of it, but it was a real pain in the ass actually, because you'd be
Really?
rehearsing a shot, shooting a shot, running through it, and then here comes the fucking plane again. It's like everyone has to high go, okay, back to first position. It's like, oh my god, we're doing it again, and you just have to go round and round and round and round and
I'm just
round.
going to apologize for being one of those people that bought the magazine that had those pictures in it. I'm sorry, but
No,
I'm pretty sure I
please do.
probably
It,
was.
it feeds into the algorithms, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Please do.
I totally do. 100%. Yeah. Like, ooh, from the set. Look, man, it is what it is, okay? Damn it.
I'm in a few of them. I've seen a few of them that I'm in the background of as well. Actually, you're doing just sort of sitting there looking quite sort of grumpy and sulky and stuff. So.
All right, Richard, it's late there, late as hell. Can we please do this again? This is
Absolutely.
this has
Like I have
been
stories for
so
I
much
have stories
fun.
for days. Like
Great.
we've two routes. We've two routes. So we do Winterfell south of Belfast, Iron Islands north of Belfast. And quite often I get people who book me for 2 days. They book me for 2 days. And even in the 9 hours or 18 hours that we're together on those 2 days, I don't even get 40% of the stories out. I honestly, I don't even get them out. I could tell you stories about for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and
Yay.
weeks and weeks.
So you're saying you don't
Um,
mind if this is a series?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I'll talk about me as long as you want me to.
It's great. Do you know how happy? Look, the chat's like thrilled. My friends have been excited about this for days. Like, I'm gonna have to.
I'm so
What I need
glad.
to do is get questions from them too, because it's hard to
Absolutely,
keep up
yeah.
with the chat. But like, I
Yeah,
don't
because
know if
yeah,
you
I
noticed,
can't. I'm an
but
old fella.
like,
I'm blind. I can't really read this stuff at the bottom here.
well, they're very, very happy and very
Yes,
excited.
we do go again.
And y'all, thank y'all for gifting. That's very, very kind. And I know Richard appreciates that. Make sure you follow him.
Absolutely.
Make sure you follow him. How did we meet?
Mhm.
I was lucky enough that he came up on my FYP, and then I was like, oh my God, he's a wildling. And I followed him. I've bothered him ever since.
You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. As I love talking about this. It was a crazy couple of years of my life that I'm immensely proud that I was part of. And I take great pride in what I do now. Not just showing people locations from the greatest show in the world, but tying in my beautiful little country, and because one of the big, you see, Thrones came here because for a good few reasons. We have a fantastic range of scenery in the north of Ireland, and it's all in a tiny, tiny, tiny little place.
Mm-hmm.
Like the North Coast. Well, Northern Ireland could give everything to Game of Thrones north of King's Landing. Do you know what I mean? Yay! North of King's Landing. We've got the Riverlands, we've got the North, we've got the Iron Islands, we've got the Wall, we've got, all of this stuff. And all of it is 1 hour from Belfast. Like 1 hour from the city, you could be anywhere north of King's Landing. And there's just so much scope and so much history. So I'm just filled with pride to keep doing this, man. It's a blessed experience. It's a blessed
I,
experience.
at some point, yes, I'm coming. I am. I will
Oh, you will
be in
be.
Ireland. I don't
You
know
will be.
when, but I
You
am. It'll happen.
will be.
I want. It's gonna. Yes, I'm gonna have to. Yes, yes, 100% yes. Wait, my
You'll,
friend
you'll make
Golden
it
has
soon.
something. What did she
You'll
say?
make it soon.
Would it be awful to ask you to say from now on, you better kneel every time I fart?
I'm a wildling. We do not kneel.
I have the best nerdy friends. They're so awesome, and they've been so tickled. I love y'all. Thank you for that. That's amazing, y'all.
I'm so glad.
This has been great. Thank y'all so much. He said that was
My
my favorite
pleasure.
live review. Golden said that. She
Absolutely my
loves
pleasure.
Game of Thrones.
So
She
yeah,
loves Game of Thrones.
get me back on as much or as often as you want. To say I can and get look. If everyone sends in questions, man, I'll answer everything that I feel that I legally can. Do you know what I mean?
All
And
right.
I
Yes.
I bend a lot of the rules as it is. So don't worry. Ask anything. Ask
All
anything.
right. All right. Okay. Perfect. Then this is going to be a series. And if you don't follow Richard, follow him now. And we'll do this again. I'll get questions from you guys since we know everybody's got lots of questions. And now everyone knows how much Richard knows, which that's what I was excited for. Like, I was like, okay, like if you're thinking like an extra just comes in like sits there, no, we're not talking about that. Like we're talking about like way more than that. So I
I
know
never
everybody else would
once,
love that.
never once did I film in a studio. I was
See?
never in a studio. Everything I did was out in the wild, in a quarry, in a forest, in the wet, in the rain.
Yep.
Our film unit here in Ireland, we also shot in the winter months. Wolf unit in Europe shot in the summer months to get the Bravosi weather.
Hmm.
Dragon unit that I worked for shot in the winter months to get the shitty Westeros weather. So it was not comfortable. It was hardcore. Like any of those shots you see, I look quite big because I'm wearing about 6 layers of like thermals and all sorts of stuff. And
I'm
it
sure.
was so cold. It was so cold.
Well, I mean, like honestly, like if you look at this picture, you look warmer than Kit. You look way warmer than him, like because you got layers on, and like he's just got. I mean, he's got the fur, but his hair. So I'd rather have on
Yeah.
what you had on. He was probably cold. I'd be
Because they were
cold.
big, they were actual sheepskins. The coats that we wore as wildlings, they were actual sheepskins. So they were quite warm. They were bloody heavy though. When they got wet, it was like carrying a rucksack in your back that was pretty heavy.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Jesus. Well, This has been like seriously like highlight of I don't know, man, like definite, probably one of the top highlights of my year. I mean, I'm just
I'm so
saying, like
glad.
this,
I'm so
I
glad.
am so
Thankful.
thankful that you were cool with doing this and going live and talking. Like, I've been
Absolutely.
excited about this. Like, this has been great. Thank you for staying
My
up and
absolute
for
my
being so
pleasure.
nice. Like, I like you got like over here, like we don't get to talk to people that were involved and stuff, so it means a whole lot for us because I mean we
Yeah.
just don't, and like the actors don't come over that much, because I
No, they
mean,
can't.
yeah, because I mean they're not from here, so especially in like certain places like where we are, it's so big. So this is a real treat for us, like really big
I'm
deal.
so happy. I'm so happy. Like I said, I'll do as many of these as you want. I'm
That's
happy to
all I
do.
needed to hear. All right, I'll continue to bother you. Sounds great. I mean, be persistent. That's what I meant. But thank you so much,
It's no bother.
Richard. Try to get some sleep. Thank you for staying
I
up.
will.
Everybody loved you.
Half 3 in the
Everybody
morning now.
follow Richard, and we'll do this again really soon. All right.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you, Richard. Have
Good
a good
night, all.
weekend.